Here, he's a really, really strong Republican. He's had a controversial record, very outspoken.
Trump winning in Missouri. The middle of America is starting to fill in red,
so he is not in
as expected.
Reverend Warnock, who comes from the Reverend Martin Luther King's church, has just had a really big rise to get into that runoff. The second race is
fuck Purdue, that inside trading lizard man. Oh, did he do the thing that Inhofe also did, where he dumped all of his stocks right before the coronavirus stock crash happened, and then made out like a robber baron?
Okay, each time the Democratic nominee was a white nominee. They've not had a compelling African-American nominee.
How is it 3%? It's actually 1.6%, 9 votes out of a total 538. Yeah, 3% sounded like a lot. I just trusted chat, which you should never do.
Sorry, that was me, not chat.
I trusted Major, which you should never do. So yeah, the 1.6 number sounds way more correct.
Democrats, and I know I've talked to some Senate Republicans who worry about that nightmare scenario of Warnock.
Squad stream, ooh.
This is where Stacey Abrams, the work she has done over a number of years, is really, at least in this Senate race, paid off.
Invites, status heck, accept.
I can't.
I've done it.
The whole Georgia ball of wax looks like.
We can squad stream.
Did I tell you guys I just recently got denied?
Ooh.
I got denied like 3 or 4 days ago. They were like, "Ooh, give it like 1 more month, buddy, and you'll get there."
Haha, keep trying, bucko.
Like, awesome, man.
Hit the squad screen button. Oh, do I have to click the start squad screen? Now that I've accepted the invite, now I have to start it. No, I'm waiting. No, I'm waiting for the squad leader.
You ready to go?
What are you guys dropping?
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free.
Twitch.tv/thedetails/squad.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right.
Well, you have to give them the squad link.
Yes. Extreme anxiety.
Okay, fuck you. Like, I feel like NBC is like the most left-leaning major news corporation. I fucking hate them. Chuck Huber can suck my ass.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all.
Isn't that also the name of Kramer?
You ready to go to work?
Kramer.
I'm so ready to go to work. She's Joe Biden's
yeah, or is his name something else?
But who
I don't think his name
Harris?
is Lindsey Graham.
Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's
Tell
journey
that he's
from
muted
Oakland
on
to
his stream
Washington
question
on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our
I'm just trying to go fight Olmec. I don't know what y'all are on about.
Wait,
Joe
I'm
Biden
stupid. I'm not thinking of Kramer. I don't know who I'm thinking of.
Wisconsin and Virginia. How did Virginia vote? I thought they were... No, Maryland was blue. Virginia was red in 16.
I'm pretty sure Virginia was red.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell him right now? On the ground.
The winds fanning these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
Virginia was blue in 16 by a 5-point margin.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
The guy in chat said Virginia is quite red. Virginia has voted blue since 2008.
We're back to work.
By pretty decent margins. They won by 7 points in 08, and then they won by 4 points in 12, and then they won by 5 points in 16.
Has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Nights at 10 on MSNBC.
They were like extra. They were like super duper red. They looked like Oklahoma.
This fall.
You never want to look like Oklahoma in like any capacity.
From 52 to 04, they voted Dem one time.
Every morning on Today.
And then they voted Dem ever since. When you say points, do you mean percent? Yes. That is the terminology. If you win by, like right here, they won by 5 points. Because they won by 5% of the vote. Welcome to Disney Suck. I love having Disney Plus attached to my election results. Thank you, Walter.
Cool country.
Jamie Harrison and the
Biden wins New York. You don't
That's
say.
crazy. I can't fucking believe it.
Justice during a election year, but he will hang on, the projected winner in South Carolina. Now to that three-way race we were talking
So glad
about
these
in
infield
Georgia,
reporters are doing okay.
Outside the Pennsylvania Convention Center.
Holds a whopping. How many people does that one hold?
But he holds on.
Is that a big one? Is that a big boy?
I don't know.
Pennsylvania?
The convention center?
The convention
Oh, I
center.
thought we were talking about like electoral college votes. I was like, yes. Pennsylvania is huge.
Was up against.
Oh my gosh, Pennsylvania's punting too.
He felt needle to thread between President Trump on the one hand and his concerns about suburban women.
Pennsylvania doesn't count their mail-ins until Friday.
And this story is part
Oh,
of
I thought they were
a narrative
starting
shaping up to
the end
be
of today.
much better for Republicans
Every
who are
state
trying to
is
hold on to the
different.
Senate.
Yeah, it's
They all have
impossible
their
to
own
keep up.
laws.
Yeah, it's impossible to
So
keep up with
confusing.
who's doing what.
Tonight to talk about how this was going to play out. That Georgia runoff that you guys were all
As a
just talking
Pennsylvanian,
about
I
is
am
actually
sorry.
part of that story.
Did
Don't
Pennsylvania?
forget,
Pennsylvania voted
Republicans
red in
Washington
16,
really
right?
wanted Kelly Loeffler to hang on.
Not sure, but to the person in chat that asked why does Google show different numbers right now when I look it up, it's because
None of the votes matter.
These are all
none of the numbers matter.
projections. These are all projections by different outlets. There's not like one super there's not just like a universal tally that's happening that everybody's pulling from.
So we are looking like
Trump flipped Pennsylvania by an extremely narrow margin, by a 0.7% margin in 16. And they had voted Dem ever since Bill Clinton.
They needed. Still, obviously, a very long time to count in that race. But overall, across the map, this is not the wipeout that some Republicans feared at this hour.
Oh, it's filling in.
Casey, we'll keep our eye on it.
Texas leaning Trump, Sag.
Not surprising, but sad.
Continue to do the math, crunch the numbers, and keep you posted on that.
All right, for those of you in the Eastern and Central time
So
zones,
whenever we look at these results, chat, you have to consider that this election has the fun caveat of being during coronavirus, and that hasn't happened before. There weren't any other elections with coronavirus going on at the time, so a lot of people decided to mail in their vote this time using the mail.
Choice to be next in line.
So that means it might take longer to count, depending on how long it takes for the mail.
Yo, we definitely have to like nuke these VODs because of the music and the ads, right?
Every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
I haven't been watching the ads for the most part. Whenever it goes to advertisement, I typically pause it and go to a different thing.
I'm in the middle of a game.
Make sense of it all.
Fuck you, Quillback. Go this way.
Cali went blue. Oh my fucking god, dude.
That's crazy. I'm gonna lose it.
I had somebody ask me earlier, I think it was in the Flob chat, if I think that California is going to vote Trump, and I was like, bruh, I don't even feel like talking. I didn't even feel like talking to that person. I'm like,
do you live in this country or?
Yeah, it's like whenever somebody shows up to your class, you're the teacher, and they show up to your class on the day that the papers due, and they ask what the fucking prompt is. I say, dude, do you literally even know what's going on right now?
Are you high right now?
The Cali flip.
Cali flip.
We started the night talking about Florida. We'll
And we like to call this one the Cali flip.
close to call at this hour, but the president is leading there.
North Carolina might choke, but they might clutch it out.
In Texas, a similar story. It is too
Dude, if
early
North
to
Carolina,
call, but
if
the
NC
president
can clutch,
has taken a lead in
big pog.
Big poggers.
As they say, you love to see it. Oh God.
You see the numbers on the screen there.
Cali flip at 0% reported. Awesome. Yeah, we like to call that the Coney vote.
In January in Virginia, it's too early to call, but Vice President Biden
Ohio and Michigan through it. They threw a mid-game team fight. It's still doable.
too early as well.
We weren't expecting too much.
I think they heard you out when you said, I just want them to fill in California so Biden's number goes up. They did.
God bless. Dad, don't beat $7.99 today. I want to save that moment forever. Ooh, that would be awesome.
In Arizona, we're watching that. It is still too early to call. However, Biden is leading in Arizona. Iowa, too early right
Man,
now.
Four Loko gets worse as it warms up, like considerably, by a lot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Keep an eye on that one. Vice President Biden had been
North
leading
Dakota
in polls
voting
in
Trump.
Nevada prior
Come
to
on.
this day. Let's look at the
Come
map to
on.
270 starting to
I
fill
really
out.
don't understand the phenomenon in America how the poor states vote for the Republican Party. Why?
Effective messaging would be my guess.
Why?
Well, if you look up these education numbers over here.
Oh man, the poor states are also stupid. Damn it.
Yeah. Interesting how that works.
I just want to give a huge shouts out to Governor Stitt for giving like 90-something% of the education relief, like COVID relief stuff that came into our state to private schools, like Epic Charters. You should Google Epic Charters to see the really cool things they've been doing.
And the poor states are not the rich people. They're the poor people. They should vote for the party that wants to help the poor people.
What do you mean? The libs are taking away the jobs.
Oh shit!
How am I supposed to work if fucking Sleepy Joe takes away my factory job?
What factory job?
What if that job paid more?
Oh, that sounds like union talk, and that's communism. I'm gonna have to stop you right there,
I hate.
What if that job was required by federal law to pay you more money?
Government in my place of work? No.
By the way, I'm voting.
Money?
By the way, I'm voting. By the way, I'm actively voting against my interests.
One day I might make more than $400,000 a year, and on that day, people like me are gonna be sorry.
And the Atlanta suburban vote is in. That's not.
Oh my God, this hypothetical.
On North Carolina.
This considerably realistic hypothetical, if Biden doesn't win, Pennsylvania would leave him at 269.
Nice.
And then we have to go to the boxing match.
Dude, if this goes to an electoral tie, this is a simulation. This isn't real.
But again, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I think Biden
that's communism straight up. What I heard about Hillary about 300 times on election day and 16 at my high school.
Good news. The way this is
That's
going
surprising.
On the side of things,
I don't remember too much. I don't remember hearing like any political talk about Romney Obama in 2012 at my high school. Like
Really?
Yeah, no, not
Maybe
at
my
all.
school was just like more racist than yours.
Yeah, I can't remember any political talk about Romney Obama in 2012.
They didn't really like that he was a Mormon, but they really liked that he wasn't the black guy.
Yeah, that he was white.
Yeah. They're like, well, on the one hand, we think he's crazy and he's got that funny underwear, but on the other hand,
is Nevada actually going to go blue? Do they usually go blue?
Is it? Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Let's go to this handy-dandy website. Go to states, voting history and trends by state, and scroll down to the Nevada. Nevada has fewer votes than us. Oh, they have voted. They have voted Dem in the past 3 elections. It was by a 2.4% margin in 16.
Also, chat, I muted myself real quick. Right now, I'm just trying to get to Olmec. Actually, I could probably just take the shortcut. I have an idea. I have an idea for a new Olmec strat, is what I'm going to try to do tonight, while I sip on this Four Loko sour grape. Also, Godzilla smoking weed. Fucking immaculate username. Thank you for the 17 months. Extreme anxiety. Yep. Maguka, thanks for the tier 1 for 8 months. Happy Hell Day. It's gonna be a fun one. Let's go figure out the lamest way to beat Olmec now, because they changed the Olmec fight.
Oh yeah. Tell me more about it between midnight and 1 a.m. I'll be waiting. I will be here patiently twiddling my thumb.
The sense of dread is intensifying.
It's gonna be a long night.
Every single one of your votes will be counted.
What were you guys doing 4 years ago on this day?
I was hanging out with Jacob at his house in like southeastern Norman. That's where he used to live.
Oh yeah, I know that is.
Yeah, I think I know what it is too.
Yeah, I think we were recording a Smash 4 video, and I bet him $10 that Hillary would win. And we were doing essentially this, watching. It was in that one room that was like really messy, that his cats used to stay in a bunch.
Yeah. That's
With the shitty couch.
That's like it's like where we recorded like probably the first FWAB stuff, or was that back at the?
That was where you and Jacob did it on the shitty headset.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was
that room.
That was a room that I was quite allergic to.
Yeah, that's where the cats hung out. You think mail-ins are going to be more blue or red? Mail-ins are 100% going to be more blue. If you've listened to what Trump's rhetoric has been about mail-in ballots, Trump has actively asked his base to not vote in by mail because he's trying to set up plausible deniability for whenever he loses because of all the mail-ins, and saying that the Dems are fraud, these mail-ins aren't legit, don't count them. Actually, I won.
Than we did in 2016, and when you talk to them, they'll tell you very quickly that they registered 100,000 of those 700,000 new voters. So that's something that they're looking at.
Oh my God!
Right now,
A 14% difference in Pennsylvania.
That's about 2.4 million people that have cast their ballots that they've already got up. We know 2.6 million people.
Okay, so apparently Olmec only shoots bombs out now when he's like next to you. So my plan is to just stand here.
You can't stand on top of them and just jerk off anymore.
So I think if I just kind of stand here and don't move, I think it'll be just as effective. So now the streamer strat is just funnier. Because he's just gonna float away.
Philadelphia stopped kind of
just come back in a while.
Okay.
Pennsylvania has
Philadelphia.
Oh.
Which is almost certainly like extremely blue leaning, if I had to guess.
Lester, good evening. We're seeing the final few voters cast their ballots.
Let's see, can I just stand here?
At the school district location. Now,
I think I can.
We know from 2016 and earlier even this evening is it was pretty busy, but none
so
of the
this fight actually got nerfed because now also both of his balls are one hit away.
Because over 1 million ballots were cast.
Cool.
Philly and PGH always go blue. I don't know what PGH is.
That's like
Raider.
Yeah,
household.
And the reason they were able to
I think that's like Ohio, like Northeast Ohio, and
massive
Pittsburgh.
investment the Orange County Registrar has made with taxpayers.
Or no, Neo is Northeast Ohio.
Oh, PGH. Wait, no. There is no G in Pittsburgh. What's the G stand for?
A long time favoring of moderate Republicans.
Oh, there is a G in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there is.
That's the end.
Then going for Hillary Clinton back in 2016. But what we continue to see is
okay, guys, you don't have to question mark spam me. I got it within like 2 seconds of saying it.
Registrar today spent the day with him, and he said in terms of fraud and issues,
is this stream muted?
Concerns about ballots.
Do you have it muted on your end?
So far, and they have this system where
are you
they
high right
bring in
now?
the ballots, they
Do
open
you
them
feel
with a
okay?
high-speed machine, and then they match those signatures as part of
I understand
that
what the
process.
confusion of the
And so
age,
all
but
of
no.
that signature matching
Okay,
is so
everybody
many people
fucking
have been
relax for a
concerned
little bit,
about
all right?
across the country.
We're a little on edge.
By specially trained workers
Jesus.
here in Orange County. So
Dylan's had a lot to
far,
drink.
Very smooth across the board. Lines are relatively manageable because of that huge surge in mail-in voting, guys.
Joe Link,
I'm
thanks very much
unfamiliar
with us
with
once again.
this
Our
acronym.
NBC News political contributors Claire McCaskill, former
Scoreboard
Democratic senator
update,
from
2 more
Missouri,
Dems
and
in the Senate.
Oh, I don't have any
columnist and
ropes.
editor of National Review, Rich Lowry.
I'm
Thanks
pulling
to
the
both
big
of you.
I think if I-
slot wheel.
Do-do-do,
Donald
do-do-do.
Trump is, just the winner of your home state. Is it?
I think if I go to the shortcut, I can just do it straight from there.
Does
I
it
don't think
give
I
you
need. I don't
great
think I need
concern
literally
about the
anything
blue
to beat
wall
Olmec
and
now,
Joe
like
Biden's
reliably.
strength as this race seems to be pushing now toward
Let the professional ballot counters count the ballots.
You have to remember Donald Trump
That was
won
catching
Missouri
GK.
by
The 2 gifted.
20 points.
Thanks for gifting.
4 years
Pretty
ago.
pog, pretty
And
sick.
he
Big
won
gifts.
Ohio by I
Fat
think close
gifts.
to 10, 8 or 9.
I thought as
So,
we, I
in
really thought
Wisconsin,
as we
in
went into the
Michigan,
night, my viewers would
Pennsylvania,
taper off
it was all
significantly,
like
but they've
Nah,
actually been
dude.
slowly climbing,
So
which
they
is
were close
opposite of what I thought would
to,
happen.
being in the
I thought I would
upper
launch the
column
stream
of the
and people would
last
say,
election.
"Oh shit,
That's why the
election!
strategy has
What's
been from the
happening?" And then they would tune in, they say, "Oh shit, we're actually not gonna know for like a while," and then they tune out. But it seems as though the tension is building.
Frankly, fair or unfair, had very high unfavorables. Unlike
Okay, I think
Joe
I should stand right
Biden,
next to this torch.
who still ended up at the
You
end of
don't
the
have to move.
presidential campaign with more people
Michigan,
saying they
what the
like him
fuck?
than
You're
not.
being so cringe.
Yeah, you just
What is this?
over there.
What is this humongous Trump lead in Michigan?
Requires an inside straight of those Sun Belt states. So far, so good.
I think
in
this
terms
is
of the results
consistent.
we've seen.
Got
However,
the Lil
Arizona
Pump
might be giving
boost.
The Trump campaign a few heart palpitations.
We like to call this
at
the pump
moment. How
pump.
do you see it?
Yeah, so the question of this night.
You start playing
always
13 and
was,
switch to
could
politics?
Trump get to Pennsylvania?
I
Could he
forgot
get
to change
the
it at the
point
start.
where Pennsylvania
It
would
happens.
matter and potentially be decisive.
I can't believe
And it
the
looks like
little
he's gonna make
pimp
it there. Even if Arizona
boost
falls off
has
the map,
has impacted
he
it
can
this
still win
much.
Pennsylvania and get to a 269 tie.
We call this
which he'd
the
probably
little
win in
pimp
the House
difference.
for complicated reasons we don't
This
need
is
to get
pimp
into
diff
now.
right here.
Everyone really breaking into the liquor cabinets, bringing up the
pump
possibility.
bump.
But he's getting to where Pennsylvania's going to matter.
Gross.
That seems clear tonight. And
That's I
also
hate that.
The odds of Republicans in the Senate, as Chuck alluded to earlier, with Tom Tillis, the Republican incumbent, looking better in Pennsylvania, the odds have increased.
I was gonna vote Biden, then I heard about Lil Pimp and Trump, and I just knew I had to vote for him. True, me too.
T-Smash 1193, thanks for the subscriber.
Oh, nice subscriber.
Of course, it's the Lions fan.
Pennsylvania because of that 3-day vote. That was a Supreme Court decision.
Shit. Actually, now that I think about it, Michigan is home to the Detroit Lions. It would make sense that they're voting the way they are. Holy fuck, 71-26 in Wyoming.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, why aren't they all voting for Kanye? What the fuck?
They probably are.
Marav Ben David getting BTFO'd in the Senate.
Republican challenges in Pennsylvania in the last couple
Anyone in chat from the Madison, Wisconsin area? Can you tell me how liberal your area is?
They could do another end run around it.
It's my biggest hope right now.
They have some of the best lawyers in the country.
15 HG thanks to the Prime.
Exactly what they expect to happen.
Nice.
I think that's why Chuck called that the nightmare scenario. It all comes down to Pennsylvania because they'll be
Strike for life,
sending in
pinch
the
the
lawyers
bits.
and nobody
Enjoy your
wants
Four
it.
Loco. Your warm
Nobody
Four
wants the
Loco.
lawyers.
Words.
All right, Rich and Claire will get back with you guys in a few.
NBC,
like a lawyer.
NBC News will let you admit that.
Madison's filled with
Election night
libs.
coverage will continue
Good.
in just a moment.
That's what I like to hear.
But how many people live there?
Good
It's
morning,
probably not
welcome
enough to
to
flip
today.
that
We're
like
glad to have you with
12-point
us.
margin,
This
right?
I didn't wait long enough.
Right there with you, whether you're back to school. What do you guys think? We're excited. Or back to work. We're
It
keeping
could.
you
It's like
safe.
6 counties.
Every morning on Today.
Chat, how can Bernie still win? You, the viewer, must invent the time machine.
Good morning, welcome to Today.
He
We're
can
glad
still
to have
win.
you with us.
It's on your shoulders.
Right there
Did
with
you all write him in today like I did?
You are personally
Back to
responsible
work.
for Bernie's
We're keeping
2016
you safe.
victory.
Every
You
morning
can
on
prevent
Today.
this day from ever happening.
Timeline B.
Police
Timeline
murder
B.
of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries.
Wow.
After seeing
They
the most
called,
comprehensive
New York
police
Times
reform
called
bill
Idaho with
ever
less than
introduced in
1%
Congress,
of
I've begun
votes.
to
Yeah, it's
wonder
red. Yeah, it's
if
red.
now
I
is the
I called
time.
Idaho
If
fucking
now
4 months
is
ago,
the
dude. It's
time
red.
the protesters finally
Just like I
win.
called Oklahoma 12 years ago.
The Last Word with Lawrence
Mississippi?
O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Zori.
Misery.
You ready to go to work?
Kansas. Well, why is
Joe
it not
Biden's choice to be next
Kansas?
in line. But who is Kamala Harris?
Matt,
Join me,
96,
Joy Reid, as I explore her
Who
life journey
is
from Oakland to
Kamala
Washington
Harris?
on my 6-part podcast.
What are
Next in
frogs?
Line. New episodes every Monday.
Got beat.
Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
A real close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss
Think I'm
needed
gonna throw
help
up.
battling coronavirus.
Oh
You're
no.
not just any patient.
You drinking
You're
Loco
their
too?
friend. These folks
Nope,
saved my
just
life. Thank God that there
no,
are
just
people
bad
who wanna
stomach.
run towards a pandemic as opposed to running away from a pandemic.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by experts you know and trust for a better understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC Daily
So
today
yeah,
at
the new streamer strat
MSNBC.com.
seems to work pretty well.
You're
Only it's
watching
visually less
NBC
interesting
News
because
Now.
I no
We've got
longer
some
ride on
breaking
top of
news.
a funny
Are
golden
people
head.
concerned
I
about
just
what
stand on the
impact
ground
this
for a
could
while.
have on the election?
And it takes
It's
longer.
news made for your streaming world.
Just
watch what they do.
36 more seconds. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to watch the Rachel Maddow show. This is really cool. I definitely like this more than I liked the old fight, for sure.
Georgia.
Woo!
Georgia.
Why are we going to Georgia?
Oh, 52%? You're telling me there's a chance? Unfortunately, Atlanta's already been counted, it seems.
Was it not Atlanta where they had the water pipe break
Oh
in
my God.
the area they were holding like mail-in ballots?
He never takes a break. In fact, here he is.
And the actual
you're talking, well, but you're on
okay, the actual Atlanta area only has a quarter of the votes counted.
The Atlanta area is a lot of people. It's like 6 million people.
Which is the votes that have been counted were, I think it just said 87% Biden.
That again,
damn,
it isn't quote necessary on the Biden path to 270. It is
the areas of Atlanta that I experienced last year seemed like they would be extremely pro-Biden.
Points, and we thought, oh, is Iowa going to go with Ohio? Now it is bouncing back a bit.
Atlanta is very black,
I think at the end of the day, Biden probably comes up short. I do want to show you here. We're looking at
I had breakfast with a friend of mine, and her and I were like the only white people in
but you do see
in a breakfast diner that contained like, I don't know, 40, 50 people. Not something that I've experienced really in my life.
Yeah, coming from fucking Oklahoma. Like, especially where you came from in Oklahoma.
Like, not exaggerating, like literally the only white people in the entire restaurant.
But Hillary Clinton lost by 9, and so I've noticed in a lot of areas you see that
knowing the Falcons, should you trust their city to pull through? Oh man, yeah. They did disappoint the nation in multiple facets in 2016. It's true.
Missing, so stupid.
Very narrowly, and he arguably flipped it because
Killer Michael single-handedly take Georgia for the Dems.
You can see here, Joe Biden doing well. Dubuque County is a traditional Democratic county. A lot of union workers over here. This is where Donald Trump, though, overperformed.
Is this early vote or day of vote you're looking at?
This is a 50-50 right now. We're seeing in Iowa. They've mixed it up a little bit. It's slightly more early vote than same-day vote.
Iowa?
Iowa's facing up to be
Biden could win Iowa?
Because
all 6 Iowa votes?
Whopping 6.
The 2 candidates will be off by a point at best.
Okay.
Pain, being a Falcons fan, and Pain. Dude, if you're a Falcons fan, you need to get out while you can.
Seriously.
It is time to abandon ship. You guys have lost in historically embarrassing fashions too many times.
Georgia, maybe lose North Carolina. What's the likely or most the shortest path to 270 for Biden?
Well, Lester, as you just pointed out, there's several paths for Joe Biden to be
He looks
elected
like
our
David
president,
Kochner.
But we have to remember, over 100 million Americans voted early, whether in person or by mail. And as Chuck was just pointing out, there are different rules in different states for whether they have already counted and are already reporting that early vote, or whether they're just beginning counting it and won't report it for several days. I'm hearing encouraging things about Ohio, about Arizona, about Iowa.
Did you say Iowa twice?
He said Ohio then Iowa.
Tonight,
okay.
While President Trump has a
Jets.
path,
hey, if you're a Jets fan, you can wish for a historical season where you lose a historical amount of games in embarrassing fashion.
Before we conclude this election, vote counts happen at the state and county level, and we have a number of states and counties that have already indicated they won't be done counting votes for several days.
Senator Coons, with the exception possibly of Arizona,
they should probably get out of New York.
More like Joe Biden is going to have to rely on that blue wall, turning Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania back into the Democratic corner. How do you feel about what
I would never make fun of a Jets fan, much like how I would never, you know, like hit a child.
I was not laughing.
You would not push over an elderly man in crutches.
Exactly.
As well as local elected officials and organizers in several states today, the ones you just referenced, and I'm optimistic. I think.
However, I will make fun of Cowboys fans.
True, me too. Fuck.
Andy Dalton will not play this week either.
Unless, of course, you subscribe to Twitch Prime. If you're a Cowboys fan and you subscribe to Twitch Prime to either of our channels, you are okay in my book.
one of several paths towards a
For
victory
now,
by Joe
for the
Biden
month.
tonight.
I will still relentlessly make fun of you.
Consider me a temporary safe haven.
Your quarterback is Danucci?
I really don't. What I'm hearing from Minnesota elected officials I've touched base with is that although Minnesota is a state where you can show up and vote at the last moment, they don't see anything that's happened on the ground today.
I hope the Cowboys lose out. If they go 2-14, I'll be so happy. As a Texan who doesn't watch football, why do people hate the Cowboys? Because they had one really good team in the 90s that won a bunch of championships off of the back of a historically bad trade to the Vikings. And they've become an extremely popular franchise ever since, and people constantly refer to the glory days, even though the franchise fucking sucks ass.
Many expected.
However, they haven't sucked ass in the facet that they've been losing a bunch of games. They suck ass in that they constantly disappoint and underperform expectations.
My colleague Doug Jones, who you've called to not be reelected, but
Danucci won a single Division II championship in 16 and lost 2 of them, and now is in
Well, almost 2 years. How y'all holding up?
It's actually Cooper Rush or Garrett Gilbert for the Cowboys. Oh, did Danucci lose his job?
Senator Coons, good to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Giro, thanks for the 23 months. Doing all right. There's Bees and Tipples too. Yeah, Temple's really fucking mean. All right, but so what we're doing right now, if anybody's here, like not, I don't know. Recently, there's several people here. I'm practicing a new strat for Olmec.
Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore
Phase
her
2,
life's journey from Oakland
the
to
boring,
Washington
not have
on
to
my
interact
6-part
strat.
podcast. Kamala,
So far,
next in
it's
line.
pretty funny. Shut up, Kamala Harris, please.
For free wherever you get your podcasts.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job
Hope
to
you're
ask
doing
the
well,
tough
Giro.
questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all. Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all.
Probably Pennsylvania.
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work.
Dylan, are Vikings fans okay?
Joe Biden's choice
Yeah,
to be
you
next
guys
in
are
line.
fine. I feel a
But
little
who is
sad for
Kamala
you.
Harris? Join
But,
me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast.
But, yikes.
Kamala, next in
D-Hop
line.
for Prez,
New episodes
yeah.
every Monday. Subscribe
I thought
for
you were an
free
Eagles
wherever
fan.
You get your podcast.
You would be mistaken, my friend.
Abandoned ship.
Wow. Never thought I'd see
You
the
obviously
day.
haven't been paying attention.
The battleground
Were you
race
watching
as we
earlier
enter
in the
final
stream?
stretch
I
of
hope
the
not.
2020 race.
From every angle.
If you were sitting
Does
here
anybody
talking
have
to
10,000
Joe
hat
Biden
on
and
points?
President
I
Trump,
sure don't
we're
hope
gonna
so.
On the ground.
The winds fanning these flames are expected to last
Just be a
another
Ravens fan.
24 hours.
Just abandon your team and be a Ravens
Two
fan.
vaccine trials on
Oh, sweet,
hold.
Giro.
Should people
Nice.
be concerned?
These ads are driving me insane. Yeah.
Media hat-ons.
It's a lot of ads for
Good morning,
NBC stuff
welcome
on,
to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall.
on NBC. God, I wish Spelunky would not pause itself every time I tabbed out.
Oh, it's a real toss-up in Iowa.
Has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the
didn't mean
time.
to do that.
If now is the time the protesters finally win.
Hat on, hat off, it doesn't matter.
The last
Whatever the most
Lawrence
recent one is
O'Donnell,
the one that I adhere
weeknights at
to.
10 on MSNBC.
Good morning, welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you. Whether you're back to school
What do you guys think? We're excited?
or back to work, we're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
Well, where is the drama
Stack
of the
hats?
night?
No.
You're looking at
The
a
hat is either
all
on or
states
off.
In yellow, those battleground states are too early to call, and any combination of them could turn this into a very interesting night.
Too early, too close. It's not even over. Not even close.
Oh, did
So
I?
we'll continue
Oh, I
covering
stood too far left?
We're back.
You're watching Decision 2020
51
on
expected
NBC.
vote in of Biden,
Maybe not far
Trump,
left
and
enough.
Rhode Island. Oh no, the gap widens in Texas. It was a pipe dream.
Well, yeah,
We were
man.
fooled for believing it.
Good morning, welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
Oh,
This
Texas,
fall,
I expected
we're
something,
right
and I
there
don't
with
know
you.
why.
Whether you're back to school
What do you guys think? We're excited?
or back to work, we're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
Buddy not hit you on a certain tile? That's what we're trying to find out. This fight got changed today.
How do you
now
feel about the Rams?
throws bombs.
Has been
I hate the Rams. The Rams bungled it against the Pats, and that is unforgivable.
After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to
the Texans were my number 2 team for a long time, but then Bill O'Brien ran the franchise into the ground.
Finally,
and then I had to abandon ship to the Cardinals.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in
Saints,
line.
fuck the Saints. Here, I have a thing for you guys.
Tier
list? Yeah, I'll pull up the tier list for you guys.
Kamala,
makes it more of an encounter instead of Burr stand on head. Well, now the encounter is Burr stand on ground, and it.
A real close-knit group of
I don't know. I think it's more boring.
Together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus.
It also makes it easier.
You're not just getting patient.
Because now the bolts are 1 hit instead of 3.
It's cropped all bad.
People to want to run towards a pandemic as opposed to running away from a pandemic.
Not cropped all bad.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by experts you know and trust for a better understanding of the stories that
in
matter
2020.
most.
It goes
Check out
Eagles,
the
Cards,
MSNBC
Bills,
Daily
Bears
today at MSNBC.com.
Colts. The Browns are dropping significantly after Ohio's presidential election results.
Are people there concerned about what impact this could have on the election?
It's news made for your streaming world.
Yeah, Gura, that's what I'm trying out today. Is just sitting here while we listen to so many ads and Dylan shit on football teams. It's one of my favorite things.
Giants should be very sad. I'm crying.
It's one of my favorite things to do in a Discord call.
The Giants are just a little sad. Cleveland voted blue. I thought that doesn't matter.
Watch what they do.
They're responsible.
They should have campaigned harder.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail. At the center of this campaign, coronavirus.
The story.
The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race.
From every angle.
If you were sitting here talking
Jags
to
above Niners,
Joe Biden
yes.
and President Trump, what would you want to tell him right now?
On the ground.
The Niners are a shell of their former selves. Where's the Washington football team rank? I don't know. Go back to the bottom and watch. Showed all.
Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News.
Vikings should be very sad. I still think about the Adrian Peterson, Brett Favre glory days.
I want to do full runs.
This night has not been short on excitement. We still have a lot of votes to count. Let's show you where we are. 11:30 East Coast time, 8:30 in the Pacific West. Florida is
yes, Stephen Colbert, Pog.
Stephen Colbert.
Texas, it's too early to
Why are we
call, but the
pogging?
president has taken a lead there as well.
They're piping them in.
Which channel?
CBS.
Ohio, it's too early in Ohio, but Trump leads there.
Hey, Stephen Colbert.
We're actually so close in Manhattan, we should just open the windows and shout at each other.
Over the sirens, how are you?
I'm fine.
That was grim.
Fine. You know, I'm glad to check in with somebody who actually knows something. I'm hermetically sealed.
Doing great, you know, voting, democracy,
avoiding coronavirus.
Information just comes from you. Can you tell me what's going on?
well, I'm going to hand. John Dickerson is here, and we've got our notable 9 states that we've been looking in, the battleground states. Just 2 of them we've got leaning a certain way, right? Florida, we've got leaning towards
the
Trump,
notable
and
9.
Arizona,
The notable 9. The 9 of the 50 that are important.
So the president's
the other 41
won
can
in
go and
2016
suck a dick.
Well, I mean, Florida looks
Cool
like it's
system.
going his way. North Carolina and Georgia, which were at the edge
Things
of
are going
Democratic
great.
dreams, they had.
Dude, the
fantasies
Nevada
about picking
polls
up
are
one of
open
those 2
so
states.
late.
It doesn't look like it's going that way for Joe Biden. So the other
Good.
route for Joe Biden
Yeah,
to take
it is
states
good.
away
Oklahoma's
from
only
Donald
open
Trump, which is the
till
way we've been
7,
talking
right?
about it all
Yeah,
night,
it's up until
is
7.
to go up through
My
the
polls closed at
Midwest.
5.
The challenge of the Midwest, and basically the night has been
That's
between
insane.
early vote
What if
and who showed up on election
What if your
day.
shithead
Biden
boss
forces
doesn't let
have
you off
voted
work?
early.
That's illegal,
They
darn.
have to. They have to.
Okay, but like,
How dare you?
What if it just happened?
But what if they
anyways?
don't let you off?
I know, Stephen. Can we just say this as we?
What
sit
if they
here at
heavily
11:31,
incentivize
when the
you
evening
not to take any time off to go and
started
vote?
at 7
Call the
o'clock
police.
Eastern time, and both candidates were very confident.
What if your boss is a
that they were gonna
well-respected
win?
member of
As we sit here
the
tonight,
community?
They're still very confident that they're going to
Because he
win.
owns, like, I don't know, like a cool hangout or whatever.
Oh shit, y'all, we got a runoff in Georgia.
Jim Inhofe won by 30 points. Abby Broyles didn't stand a chance.
Is that the case?
Norm
I,
mentioned
for one, am
this,
shocked,
we
Dylan.
have
Shocked.
Arizona.
I need to go reply to Braden from earlier
Joe
today.
Biden, so that would be
What'd Braden say?
Our
for a couple
sweet
reasons.
summer
One,
friend.
it's from that list
Yeah, our
of
sweet
states
summer
that
Braden.
Donald Trump won in
I
2016.
love that
and
Japan Braden.
Democrats hope that
He
is
said
part
something
of
like,
the
well,
story,
yeah, at
that
least
they're
the
getting these new
presidential
kinds of voters in
elections
states like
washed,
Arizona
but
and
Abby
maybe other
Broyles
places.
might make
so that's
Senate.
the bright piece of news for Democrats so far tonight.
And Stephen, just to
and I
point that
say
out, why
no.
Arizona is so
No,
important.
no,
in
no,
the
no,
valley
no.
by
No,
which
no,
carries that
no,
state.
no.
It is one of their key
You were away
pathways
for
to the
too long,
presidency.
Japan Braden.
They want to win Arizona,
Spend too much time in
Michigan,
Japan.
Wisconsin, and they could win without Pennsylvania and Florida.
Oh, no,
in
he
that
said, let's
particular
hope we can at
scenario.
least
So
flip the
Arizona
Senate
has
seat with
always been
Abby
sort of,
Broyles.
I guess you could call it a safety.
I'm going to respond to him
extra
right
if
now
they
and
do not
say
win
F.
Pennsylvania and Florida. But
Lol.
what we're talking about here is whether we'll be
I
able
say lol,
to
but I do not mean lol. I mean
characterize
sad face.
who may win.
Lol, tears
if
in
this
eyes.
goes down to the upper Midwest. As you know,
I say
they're not gonna-
GG,
it's
but
gonna
it was
take a
not
while to
GG.
count the votes there.
Did I hear this right, that it's possible that Joe Biden would not win his home state of Pennsylvania?
We don't know that yet. We don't know. Margaret Brennan was saying earlier they've actually started the vote counting again.
But he has
in
the home
Philadelphia.
vote.
They paused it for a little while. It was a labor issue. But he does have a scenario where Joe
If it
Biden
comes
could
down to
win the
Pennsylvania,
presidency
it's
without
gonna be
Pennsylvania
pandemonium.
or Florida.
It would sting.
Yeah,
it would be like,
sting.
you know,
Let's
your
fuck
mom
up the
saying that you
Ritz-Carlton
look
again.
funny.
Well, as someone whose
Trump is
mom
gonna
said that
declare
to him all the
victory.
time, one thing you should know, though, Stephen, is you
It's gonna
talk
be
about
epic. It looks like it was
Pennsylvania. It's
miscalled
still lots of the vote
so
out,
far,
but
but it's only
Lackawanna
64.
County, which has
I don't think
Scranton
anything
in
has
it,
been
Joe Biden,
miscalled or
99% of the vote
called
in. It
or
looks
whatever.
Like he's got it by 9
These
points.
are
like a lot of the
Hillary
states.
Clinton's 3.5 points. In that small county, so at least in that regard,
You know,
you can feel
Oklahoma
like
could
his
flip
home turf
blue,
was on his
and I
side.
wouldn't be.
I know, Stephen, I
wouldn't
think
be
it's more
like.
than your mom said you look funny.
I
think
wouldn't
it's your
like
mom saying,
believe
"Yeah, I never liked you.
necessarily
I
that I'm
liked you
dreaming.
better."
I would
I would
think
just
that
heavily consider it.
Yeah, I would just be like, I went a little too crazy tonight,
I have
huh?
a very charming brother.
I must have fallen
How late
asleep.
are you guys going to be there tonight?
Or be
'Cause
in
I
some
know,
sort of
Gail, you've
induced
got to be
coma.
up for CTM.
Wait, can it still flip?
I know,
Oklahoma?
this is
Hell
me
no.
on,
Absolutely not.
Fuck no,
It
dude.
really can't.
It'd be incredible to see that within my
And
lifetime.
by drugs, I mean
94%
water. And by
reported,
drugs, I mean
65%
water, but
Donald
no,
J.
we
Trump.
want to stay here for as long as it takes. In all seriousness, Stephen, you don't want to stay here and then leave as they're saying. We're going to know something, but in
South
all
Dakota.
honesty, it doesn't look like
Trump's
we're going to know
leading by a
anything
cool
for
22
sure
points.
this evening.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
as you
CBS
know-
News promise. We won't know anything. Stick around.
That's
Thanks
Colbert.
Stephen Colbert.
telling people to click off.
Stephen, we appreciate it.
We used to like you.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you,
Oh,
Nora.
okay.
John.
Oh, you jokester, you comedian. Please stop
All
telling
right.
people to leave.
Always good to touch base with
No,
Stephen
seriously,
Colbert.
though.
You can
Some
tell
levity.
you guys are friends, John Dickerson.
We need some levity in the midst of kind of
Stay
what is
tuned.
this moment where we're waiting. We're really waiting to get some of the final vote count, not only in Arizona, Nevada, but then
Official
waiting to
iCarly
hear
won
what
every
is
state.
the case in those upper
I didn't know
Midwest
she was
states
running.
that now the Biden campaign
Believable, though.
believes
I wrote
and
her in,
is,
so I'm not
is telling
surprised.
reporters that they feel confident that that is their path to the presidency.
Elizabeth
Nora,
Warren
I
is
think
still
it's
electable
worth
if you vote for
reminding
her.
people, we hear so often about the different approaches to the
If
campaign,
everyone in
and
the
this
chat
is the most expensive
tells
campaign ever, the money that was
10,000
poured
of
into
their
it.
friends to vote for
Republicans,
Elizabeth
to this
Warren.
day of voter, they spent
She has a
$250
plan
million
for this.
over 2
And
years
there's no
going and
overlap.
trying to get their supporters going door to door, most recently to get them to come out today to vote. They've invested in what they love to call the ground game. And in the middle of the pandemic,
In what they
when you
call
weren't
the
supposed to
ground
really be
game.
interacting with people, they kept that pace up. And it's something that I know the RNC is very proud of and saying would pay off today. That's why we keep talking about that turnout day of versus the mail-in.
But you know what, guys? It reminds me of if you're on a flight and the flight is bumpy, and you look to the flight attendant to see, does he or she look nervous? And if they don't look nervous, and you go, okay, then I'm going to relax. So when I hear the Biden people say, if you're a Biden supporter, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to relax. If you're a Trump supporter, because they're both saying they're confident.
I hate this
look
analogy.
At the flight attendant to see.
Yeah, I hate this analogy a lot. This is fucking stupid as
shit.
shit.
They're very optimistic and feel good.
But then there's
Yeah, because it's their job to do so.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not they're nervous. The votes are already in. Nobody's voting anymore. We simply must count them.
Very nervous flyer.
The deed is
To
done.
continue the metaphor a little further, at some point gravity
They wouldn't be wrong
is
about the
more
numbers.
powerful than the placid looks of the flight attendant. And
That has
so
never happened.
we may
That's
come
never
into a
happened.
situation
I
here
have
where the
amnesia.
campaigns might feel
It has
like
never
they,
happened
you
in
know,
the past
things
2
are looking great, but
decades.
they
I
may
have
not be like-
Multiple times.
Tell another story.
This has not happened on
Hang
2 separate
CBS
occasions in the
News
past 2
has a
decades.
projection that Joe Biden has won the state of Oregon.
Holy shit, projection.
Has won
He won.
Nebraska.
Are you
Now,
going
while
to tell
some
me
of
that he
these
won
in Florida
Washington
is
next?
leaning- Yep, there
Fake
we go.
news.
And
I don't believe it.
And
Trump,
those
Nebraska.
are expected.
Again.
He won
by
3 of
calling
the
them, or I should
5
say,
votes in
projecting them,
Nebraska?
They're putting more numbers on the board on the path to 270. Let's go now to Major Garrett.
So more exit poll data. We're going to talk to you about
Thanks for the
independence.
bits, Strife.
Was over there.
Here's
Now
Guy
back over
standing
here.
over
Two jobs
here
tonight.
in
I'm
the
loving them
cave.
both. So, independent voters in 3 states, Upper Midwest, Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Let's start in Michigan. Joe Biden, according to the exit poll data, again, gathered today through early in-person voting
Independents.
and those surveyed by phone who voted absentee. Biden 56, Trump 40. Let's go to Minnesota. Independent voters again. Biden 55, Trump 40. Wisconsin,
More
you're
numbers,
going
I
to
can't
see
believe
the
it. Yeah, this is the
continuation
numbers
of this
stream.
trend.
Welcome.
Biden 58, Trump 38. That's a little bit bigger margin in Wisconsin. Interesting thing about the independents in all 3 of these states, Trump won the independents in all 3 of those states.
Trump
in
won the
2016.
independents.
And in 2 of the 3 states, Minnesota and Michigan, the independents said the most important issue for them was containing coronavirus.
So is that part of the reason you think the Biden campaign still feels confident they can win with these upper Midwest states because they're doing well among independents?
That was certainly one of the factors that they
Okay, we're
thought
leaving.
would be most helpful, or at least partially helpful, to them.
Do you think
winning those
it would be
states.
better if all states
Transitioning
worked like
independents
Nebraska?
from Trump
You
in
mean they
2016
adhere to the popular vote? Perhaps.
Interesting. My vote would matter.
You know what? I don't think we should try it because it's something different. And I'd rather kill myself.
There's a
Maybe it
lot
would
more
make
news
the election
ahead,
more
including
interferable.
projections, and we'll update the state of the race.
Like from
You're
China.
watching
I hate
CBS
China.
News
Actually, no. It's
2020.
this time it's
America
Iran
decides.
and China.
What if
And
the
Castro.
number of electoral
Oh, yeah,
college
and
votes
Castro.
accurately represented the number of people who voted? I don't. This seems a little crazy. I don't know.
Seems kind of sus. Seems like a slippery slope to giving people.
Personally, I think if Trump wins 51% of the Texas vote, he should get 100% of the electoral college votes because he had a
COVID has
majority.
taken the lives of
The majority of
tens of
Texans want to
thousands
vote
of
for Trump, so why wouldn't they vote for him?
Areas like this here in
You're being
Navajo
cringe if you
Nation
think
are
otherwise.
especially hit hard.
I'm 12.
15 to 30% of our Navajo
And also
citizens
making an
don't
alcoholic
have running
beverage.
water.
I was gonna say no. I have like a several $100,000 per year media job, and I'm a very serious adult, and I'm making an adult
The
beverage.
more we lose our elders to COVID-19,
Buy my
the
book.
more we lose our language.
It's good,
and our
actually.
life.
We need to bring awareness to the attention of Washington, D.C. and United States citizens that there is a need to focus on the first citizens of this country.
This is a hopeful political ad.
CBSN Los Angeles. Get local news, breaking news,
Bird,
anytime,
bird.
anywhere.
It's easy to find us, and it's free.
Download the CBS News app on your favorite devices. CBSN Los Angeles.
Ah!
Streaming 24/7.
I got bits and I looked over,
CBSN
and then I fell into lava. God damn it.
Neighborhood news, streaming
Thanks.
We didn't
idle
have a
blogging.
single blue county.
anytime, anywhere.
Bro.
Find it on KDKA.com and on all your favorite
Wow.
devices.
That's crazy.
Man, it's so cool to be in Oklahoma, ain't it?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma City might go blue.
Oklahoma, all the polling stations in Oklahoma City didn't have power through the entire day.
Some factors
Oh,
that are
nice.
still hungry.
They still hadn't
Most
got that
of
shit
them
up.
Are just kind of abandoned.
OG&E, for whatever reason,
The restaurant industry right now
decided
is
that
one of the
Oklahoma
largest
City,
and fastest growing industries in
like
America.
the most populated area, that had the outage for like a full week was
Oh,
going
yeah.
to get their repairs last.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That was pretty smart of them.
I'm that rum and OJ.
As a Normanite, let me tell you how much I love my
I
power.
remember growing up like this. My mom didn't have to.
It's great. My power was only out for like 6 hours.
Yep, me too.
How about that tree though?
I was asleep
Yeah,
for
the
most
tree's
of it.
still there, unfortunately.
Corey Lewandowski. I was looking at this dude and I was like, this dude just looks like a shithead. And I see, and then afterwards I read Trump campaign senior advisor.
Ah, yeah.
He looks like a jarhead.
I wonder if he's the guy that came up with incite a crowd to hate on LeBron James at a rally. Was he the guy that was like, let's get them to chant about how we should lock LeBron up? Just talk about how the NBA's gay now.
Put LeBron in jail because he doesn't like whenever black people are murdered in the streets.
At this hour, we can dive into them individually to show you.
Of course, he wants the votes
latest
for
vote
him
count.
to be
But
counted.
first, in Arizona, the Senate race likely for Mark Kelly. Now, the presidential race, North Carolina.
Something funky
tight
about
race
this drink.
There
It's
with
probably the
95%
orange juice and
of the
rum
vote
combination.
in.
If I
It
had
tastes
to
a little
guess.
funky.
Keep going through.
Is the,
all
I'm not
the
sure if I'm-
battleground states.
Was the orange juice
Michigan,
from The Office?
with less than half
No.
of the vote in at this hour. That is
Are
mostly the
you
day,
Yes.
election day voting. We don't have the mail-in tally yet, which is why you see that disparity. Another state that we're watching.
Joe Biden is being cringe.
this
This is
hour,
election to
we'll put
lose.
that up.
He's looking like he might lose. Wow. It is literally too
And
early
the
to
number
tell.
of these
Also,
states
if
are
you look
just
at the numbers
too
on
close to
screen,
call. We wanna
he's
bring
way
in
ahead,
Valerie Jarrett
actually.
And Reince Priebus.
If we're
Jarrett
looking
is
at current
senior advisor
projections,
to former
actually he has a
President Barack
humongous
Obama.
lead.
It's
And Reince
that
Priebus
that
was
take is
President
just
Trump's
as
chief of
just as
staff.
valid.
Welcome back to both of you.
He's
And I know
winning
Reince, you
and
were
getting blown the fuck
former
out
head
right
of the
now.
Republican National Committee. And what are you
We
hearing
totally
about
know
those upper
for
Midwest
sure.
states?
Based on these media projections that
Well,
have never been
I'm
wrong.
hearing a couple things, Nora. Number one, obviously, people are watching Arizona. Obviously, some concern there, especially with some other networks.
We should not be losing at the
calling
margin
that,
where he's
I think,
at.
a
He's
little
not losing.
prematurely.
Look at the
So,
numbers. He actually has a huge lead.
Did you hear anything that
about
just came out of any of our
but
mouths?
You're not
If that were
criticizing
true, of
the
course,
Fox News
then-
channel, are you?
He's actually
Reince
up like
Priebus, are you
190 to
criticizing
110.
Fox?
It's actually
They
almost
call- they
already
call
over
Arizona.
Well,
with.
maybe a little bit, okay?
Reince, I
that,
can
of
say,
course, is a big
Reince, I can say we're going to use
got
your
primes?
words as our promo.
You
Grateful
primed
to
it?
CBS for staying with it and not acting prematurely. That sounds like a good promo to me, Reince Priebus, and we thank you.
Have you had anisette?
You got it.
Cherry strawberry
But,
soda? No.
What's complicated here
I don't know
is
what
that in
anisette is.
Wisconsin and Michigan.
Let's go Arizona.
There's no rule as
Let's
to
go
how
Arizona.
these ballots are being counted. There's no
Arizona
guidance
is
in
clutching
what's
out the
happening. It's a
selection.
rolling
Which channel are you on
counting
currently?
Going on in these states, and so a lot of these things just don't make a lot of
NBC.
sense right now.
NBC.
But certainly, if you're
This is mad boring. I'm going back to the one where people were talking.
Arizona getting the dubs in
Either
promos.
Michigan
That's why
or
I told you guys I was a
Pennsylvania.
Cardinals fan.
I can tell you, I think
Who you
the
want?
campaign feels
I
really
think it
good,
would be a
obviously,
lot
about
better
Florida,
if Joe
North Carolina,
Biden won the election.
Georgia,
Because
Ohio.
I'm not a
I
psychopath.
think those are in any other presidential year. Those states, maybe not North Carolina, but certainly Florida, Georgia, Ohio would be.
I don't think that.
For Trump,
I actually don't
understand
think that Trump's plan
everyone's trying
for
to be
air
careful
quotes
now, but,
the economy into air
I think
quotes
they're
is
feeling
better.
pretty good about
Wait,
that.
what?
All right, let's just point out that in Michigan, excuse me,
But
Wisconsin
the line.
and Michigan,
What do you mean,
that,
Dylan?
they
He's
are
gonna make
following
people
rules
go
in
back
terms
to
of counting
work,
the ballots.
which is
The Secretary of
good.
State is involved.
So
It
let's
just
see
takes a
Seattle
little bit
State
more time
voting
because there was
history,
such a
270
large
to win.
mail-in and absentee vote. Valerie Jarrett, I know you've been speaking also to the Biden campaign.
The
at
economy,
this
also
hour.
known
What have you been
as
hearing about how
the
they
upper
view the
echelon
race
of people
so
who
late
trade
to evening?
stocks.
Well, I think they're still
Won't you
feeling
think
very
of
good
the
about
Walton
Michigan,
family, Dylan?
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania.
They were going
We're
through some
not
hard
prepared to
times
say
right
Georgia
now.
might not turn around. There's still a fair
I
number
have a
of votes
great
that haven't
straw
been
poll
counted
idea
there.
for the chat.
Arizona's looking good. I was
Uh-oh.
kind of enjoying a little dust-up
Ooh.
between Reince and Fox News disputing the outcome of Arizona, which benefits, obviously,
But what
Vice
about my
President
guns?
Biden. But I think The point I
What will
wanna make
happen
at
to
this
them?
late hour is we have
Think
to be
about their
patient.
rights.
Will
We
I
have to
still be
give the
allowed
officials
to
the
suck
time
and
to count
fuck my
every ballot.
AR-15?
Vote in the straw poll that I
Everybody would
posted
love
in the
this to be
chat.
over with, of course,
Oh, I'm gonna
but
need
Go,
it.
go, go.
make
I'm gonna
sure
need it.
that
I'm gonna
the
post it in mine
American
too.
people have a fair say in this. And so let's not try to rush it. Let's take our time.
Interesting
and
question.
wait for the
Please
ballots to
answer
come.
honestly.
Valerie, that's such a good point. We keep emphasizing that just to say that just because it's taking
I
a
got
long
stuck in
time
Smash Brothers,
doesn't mean
haha.
it's not working. Just because it's
not
late
the
doesn't mean
question.
it's not working. So the more we emphasize that, I think the better.
And let me just point other thing out.
Yeah,
there.
it's true. How many people
Military votes
are old enough in this
accepted
chat to
until
own
November
stocks?
6th, no matter where a voter is registered.
You
it is
can
a
own stocks,
nation-wide rule.
Does my wife count?
passed
I don't
by
know.
Congress to make sure that our
Are you
military
want
voters
it?
are not
If you wanted to.
disenfranchised.
Is she
It has
publicly
been
traded?
approved by both parties in the past.
Got him. Zing. Rim shot.
Imagine you taking an investor's call and like being like, guys, I swear my wife is doing great right now.
Correct? Is that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a big question.
It's actually
Where are
closer
the
than I thought it was
million
going to be. I
ballots?
thought it was going to be like
Where
90-10.
are those ballots? And
So
you know,
he's
that's
talking.
going to
So
be a
just
big
to
question.
Yeah,
According to the straw poll,
3.4 million were requested.
it looks like it's
about 2.4 million and
28%
change have been
of people who
returned. So
voted in my
Republicans are
chat
wondering,
say that they
where
own
are those
stocks,
other million?
which is
And also,
higher than I
mean,
would
if
have
you look
thought,
at the fact that if you got 25%
given the demographic that I
outstanding,
had
you know,
painted in my
part
head of my
this
chat.
is
Mhm.
understanding
I
how
own
many
stocks,
votes
chat.
are
I'm
outstanding,
big
where they're
business.
coming
Oh
from,
my
where those
God,
million
canceled.
ballots
Go to
are.
I
jail.
am the I'm the
You know, I think
1%.
you can at
Go
least
to
admit
jail. Good
that-
luck for
and
you.
we all can, that
I don't own
the
stocks,
Trump
chat. Give
campaign
me
has
your Twitch Prime.
overperformed
Twitch Prime. Anybody
expectations
trying to
because
check out
I don't
Major
In
think
fact,
Duncan?
give me your
accurate,
Twitch
but
Prime
they've
instead
overperformed
because I'll
because
invest
they're
it more
really
wisely.
good in the
Own.
Republican National Committee, the Trump
Not
campaign,
true. My
they've
Yu-Gi-Oh
become
cards get
very
great
good.
ROI.
True,
The
true.
ROI actually.
Major is plussing like
Identifying
all the
voters,
time.
knowing where the ballots are and knowing what they need to get, and they've been hitting the mark all through the country. Arizona is the one place
Now wait,
where
we need a
have
follow-up
a
poll. How many of you
discrepancy.
fucking nerds
All right.
voted true?
Ryan
I
Davis
own
and
stock,
Valerie
but
Jarrett,
actually
thank
own
you so much.
cryptocurrency.
A lot still ahead. We're going to take a short break. Download the CBSN app.
'Cause that
to
is
track
not the
all
same
your
thing.
local races on your phone or tablet.
That's pretty
CBS
funny,
News
actually.
2020. America
didn't
decides,
think about that.
and we will be right back.
Popular vote. I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota. Remember Sarah Palin? Wow. what a
Yeah,
time.
man.
Absolutely.
That woman was dumb as shit.
North Carolina's a deadlock.
She could have been the vice president. That would have been really funny.
Alaska, Russia, House, etc. Yeah.
COVID has taken the lives of tens
I
of
can see
thousands of
Russia
Americans.
from my house.
Rural areas like this here on Navajo Nation are especially
Seeing
hit
it's Twitter DM of the election coverage with NFL primetime
15 to
music.
30% of our Navajo citizens don't have
Twitter.
running water.
In any indigenous reservation, there
Did you
is
send me a
shortage
Twitter
of
DM?
Native
Are you
Americans
sure?
are amongst
Is
the
someone
most
telling a
vulnerable
fib?
Did you mention me on Twitter and you think that's a DM?
Greenfield and in Montana, a
I see
very
neither.
tight race.
Ooh.
The two Steves.
Is it the right Twitter?
Steve Bullock,
Did you
Steve
DM me?
Too early to
Did you
call
DM
there.
Major?
And the Georgia Senate
Are you
race
high
right
right now?
maintaining a lead right
Do you
there.
feel okay? Are you nervous?
Is it? Do you have NFL
Here's where
Prime
Senate
blocked
stands right now,
or something?
43-43.
And that brings us to
Yeah, he's on an
KCI, who
official
has been
NFL
doing the
account.
pluses and minuses all night long. There have been some disappointments.
Yeah, actually, I
at
lied to
least
you,
on the
chat. All my
Democratic
stocks are
side
in
in terms of what they
RuneScape.
saw.
Whenever I said stocks, I was talking about my RuneScape
That's right,
bank.
Savannah. And as the night wears on, Republicans are becoming more
I post
confident
a link
that
because I
they're
sent
going
you
to
a
be able to
DM
hang on
for
to
sure.
control of the Senate.
Sure,
And
go for
quite
it.
frankly, that's not really where things stood.
I don't know
when
if
we
it'll
all
get
sat
swallowed.
down
I honestly
earlier
forget what my
tonight. At
Twitch
this
chat
point,
settings are.
Republicans are increasingly confident. I know we're still we still have not called the Senate race in the state of Iowa, but Republicans are expecting Joni Ernst to pull that out.
Manufactured
That was one
jobs
that
and
we weren't
wages
really watching at the
disappeared.
beginning of the election cycle, but that reflected what we thought were pretty difficult.
Should I
approval
invest in
ratings
Doge? Yes.
for President Trump, but they're now expecting her to do all right, and that really will narrow
Build up those
Democratic
bird nest
opportunities
stonks.
to
NFL
take back
memes.
the
Oh, is it
Senate
just
in
a
the event
video?
that Joe Biden wins the White House
Yeah, I
tonight
actually
or
don't
this
care.
week or
I'm not even gonna watch it.
That's going to play
Damn.
out. They would need a net of 3 seats if Donald Trump hangs on.
Yeah,
to
it's
the
gonna go
White
like
House. They need a net of 4 to take back control. It looks like they're going to win Colorado and Arizona, but there's still a lot of questions about Maine, North Carolina.
But doesn't that sound
seems
fun?
to be trending toward Tom Tillis. There are
Yeah, maybe
still some
later.
outstanding wild cards across the map, so I think it's going to be a while until we really know where this
Vermont.
stands.
Goddamn,
there, of
bruh.
course, is a possibility, and it ends up being a 50-50
All 3 of their
split,
votes.
which of course means that whoever controls
I
the
think
White House
Vermont
would
is
have
the
the
state I
controlling,
forget about the most.
vote in the Senate. But
That's
again, we
Bernie's
have to
state.
underscore
I think
here,
mine's
Savannah,
Rhode
this
Island.
is not the night that
Nah,
Democrats
Rhode Island,
dreamed
they're
up.
the
There
smallest
is
ones, so they're
clearly,
easier to remember.
an undercounted
That I mean
portion
that
of the
logic
electorate
makes sense.
that is
Yeah,
supporting
I think I
President
think I
Trump that they
forgive New
just
Hampshire a
didn't
lot.
expect. And there was overconfidence in the Senate. On the Senate side, there's overconfidence among
I wonder for
House
how many
leaders.
people
I
it's
think that's something
Oklahoma.
really to keep an eye on in
Rhode
the coming
Island is
days.
the Family Guy state. True.
And one of those races that's
Maloney in the chat.
I legitimately have not watched Family Guy in so many years.
They're from Quahog, Rhode Island.
Coronavirus, but has not had much opposition to it. He's running for the Senate. They really fought
I
hard
always
to
think
convince,
Vermont is
Chuck
in
Schumer to get
Canada.
him into the Senate race. He did not want to run
Yeah,
in
Can I
close enough.
convince me that Oklahoma is real? Dude, we have a funny shape.
We do have a funny shape.
We stand out because our shape is funny.
What happens in Montana?
Can you point at a map and tell me which one of the states is Colorado?
I'm in Colorado right now, and no.
We are not seeing
I've been here for like a month.
Perhaps not.
And
Can you
literally
point at
no.
a map and tell me which one is Utah? Perhaps not. Can you point at it and tell me which one is Oklahoma? Absolutely. Because we have the funny shape, and we're right in the middle.
We're Texas's hat.
That Senate race had sort of created its own unique
Claim to
personality.
fame.
Could they?
Yes to all 3. Okay, Mr. Geography nerd over here. Let's not flex that hard.
People are not splitting their tickets. I know that Sherry Bustos
Yeah, cool straight A's, bro.
But actually, literally nobody in the chat can point at a map and tell me where Vermont is at. If you say that you can, I don't believe you.
I think it's this phenomenon. It's red or blue.
All right, we'll continue with our coverage, election night coverage, after this short break.
Give me a map.
After this short break, fuck no.
I could get kind of close.
Yo, after this, we're pivoting into
Spread
GeoGuessr.
between Tom Tillis and Cal
Okay,
Cunningham.
hold on.
With
What's that one
5%
website? That's
of the
one
votes
shitty,
still out. That's still
like-
6%.
like quiz
looks
website?
It's still out. Yep.
Or
I
gives
know
you
what
the-
you're talking
the-
about, but I don't know the actual
We'll
website.
see. We'll continue to
URL.
And that's about
US.
the
Oh my
God, I have
margin by which
33
President
bombs.
Trump won the state in 2016. So his margins are holding steady.
All right. Thank you, Nancy Cordes, with those updates. Some CBS
Ah, shit.
stations will be
Okay, here we
leaving us
go.
for local election returns for the rest
How
of the
does
year.
this
Our
crop?
coverage continues.
Click on
You're
Arizona.
watching CBS News 2020. America Decides.
Arizona is definitely this one. Oregon is definitely this one. New Jersey, oh fuck, enhance. This guy. Connecticut. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Connecticut.
And let's bring in
Ah,
Anthony
this one. This
Salvanto
little guy's Rhode
and
Island.
Major
You can do it, Dylan. You can do it.
An
This one?
update on where
South Dakota?
the race stands with
Illinois?
all of those battlegrounds
New
yet
Hampshire.
to be called.
Fuck.
Straight in from
New
huddling
Hampshire.
over the
Shit.
computer, staring.
From one huddle
One of
to
these
the board.
guys?
That's what
One of
Anthony
these two for
Salvanto
sure.
does on
This
a
guy.
minute-by-minute,
Minnesota
hour-by-hour basis.
is
We're
free from it. Here we go.
this one.
Okay, pick a state.
Wyoming.
All right, Pennsylvania.
All right, Pennsylvania.
Click on Wyoming. Oh, that was
I'm told,
Montana. Wyoming.
One of my best sources in Pennsylvania
Nebraska,
is someone pretty
Maine,
good at politics there.
Utah
Former Governor Tom Corbett.
is
He said
definitely
President Trump is overperforming what he
this
did in
one.
2016 in Western
Kentucky.
PA.
All right.
So what
This
is that, what are we
guy?
seeing there?
So let's
Pretty
take
sure.
Is it Butler
Yep.
County,
Washington.
Westmoreland?
I forgot
Okay,
what
I'm gonna
today was, and
Louisiana,
I'm way too high for all
Nevada,
Last time.
Rhode
79 this time.
Island,
Okay.
Hey, thanks for the weed number.
Virginia,
To,
Tennessee,
but,
Indiana.
How could you
Indiana?
forget that today was election day? Every app's been
71.
yelling
Okay.
about it for like a month.
Anywhere
Indiana.
around Pittsburgh.
all and around Pittsburgh. Look,
definitely
Oh,
this
hey,
guy.
died in there.
in
Nice.
the
Dude, I'm so good at this.
Westmoreland County.
Mississippi
Okay.
is this one.
Yo, this fucking nerd
Texas,
paid attention in social
Oklahoma,
studies.
69
What a
now.
loser.
Georgia,
Take it.
Massachusetts. fuck.
From his perspective, a good sign
This
for
one.
the president
Fuck, that's
in
Vermont.
Pennsylvania.
I
Because
never, I
overperforming
can't remember
in places
Vermont.
in
You guys know this.
2016
Massachusetts.
means there's room to
Iowa.
give up if
Iowa
Joe
is
Biden
over
is overperforming,
here-ish.
let's say, for
This guy,
example, in any of the
definitely this guy.
suburbs around Philadelphia,
Florida,
itself.
Delaware.
What do we know about
Son of a
the
bitch,
suburbs
right?
of
We're here
Philadelphia?
again.
First
Probably
thing-
not as much as we'd like to know.
Well, not as much because we've still got so much vote outstanding. So let's take, for example,
Delaware.
Montgomery County. Here's another
Delaware.
suburb.
I assume you're
One of
doing
these
great,
mo-
Dylan.
One of these
but
motherfuckers is
29%
Delaware.
of the vote in, so most of the estimate here is a model,
one is it?
which means we look at
This
past
guy,
vote, we look
that's
at how it's
Maryland.
been trending.
This
Delaware.
West
I
Virginia.
literally only know about Delaware because of Wayne's World, and they were like, "We're in Delaware," and there's nothing else notable about them except for all the credit card companies.
Philadelphia itself.
Or is that
I
Connecticut?
literally couldn't see it on the map.
Building
Bama.
up the lead.
Michigan,
Still only 40% counted.
Cali,
Now, this is the other part of this measure
Alaska.
that we should
Is
tell
that one?
everybody.
That's easy.
This
West
estimated
Virginia,
expected vote
North
Dark Color.
Dakota.
I read the
We're
patch
still
notes.
finding
Thank
out how many ballots
Vermont,
are yet to come in, how many
New
ballots
York,
they expect to have.
Missouri,
This is our estimate.
Colorado,
This could move over the course of the night too.
North Carolina,
Focusing on Pennsylvania, looking at some of
Wisconsin.
these
Yo, there's
counties
too many
because
states, dog.
as
Fuck
this evening has
that.
progressed,
Dude,
it
I've
becomes
got
clearer and
most of
clearer to
these.
me,
Maryland
Anthony, that Pennsylvania
is
going
right
to
there.
loom large in
Pennsylvania.
the ultimate outcome of this election.
Montana,
And
Ohio,
remember correctly,
Idaho.
cleared out of
Hey,
Philadelphia
I'm
about
not bad.
450,000 votes.
How many?
If Joe Biden is on that
93%.
trend, he's going to need
That's
more
okay.
votes
That's pretty good.
elsewhere.
That's pretty good.
Like
That's an
the
A.
only ones I got wrong were like the little bitty
in Western
ones.
All
Okay.
these suburban areas are places the Democrats have been counting on them since 2018.
Like,
Trending towards the
okay,
Democrats. He's got to
that
do
7%
very well
came from
here
bullshit like
in order to
Delaware,
carry
all right?
One of the things I think is true in Pennsylvania,
And Wyoming. I
it's a
did miss
theme playing
Wyoming.
out in lots of these battleground states. The kinship that President
Right,
Trump
time
has
to
with
test
his
the streamer
supporters
strat.
is so
Now do it with no
very
lines?
strong.
What the fuck?
They want to show
Do it with
up.
no
With
lines.
no lines, suck
And
my
they will
dick.
do that in
What do you
the
mean do it with no lines?
That's
What do
not
you
even a map.
find the border states of the
There's also a
puzzle?
story in here and every place else of
That's 7%
rural,
lower than it should be.
exurban
Okay,
America
I have not
versus
taken this
suburban
bullshit in like
and
a
urban
decade. Give me
America,
some
and the
slack.
differences are
I only
growing
missed
more
the
and more
bullshit
dramatic.
ones. Dude, Canada
Anthony
coward?
Salvano, thank you so
Holy
very
shit.
much. We're
Hey, there's only like 8. There's only like
We'll
8
be
in
right
Canada
back
or
with more
whatever.
election coverage, I
You
promise
can do it. You can do
You
it.
know this, you're watching CBS
Province
News
map
2020.
quiz.
America decides.
So I think for this strat, you only have to move once. I think you just readjust to wherever he shoots the first bombs, and then you're good.
Click on Manitoba.
That sounds like a Kingdom Hearts character.
You're telling me there's a province called Manitoba?
Taylor, explain yourself. Your country is very silly.
Definitely this one. Oh!
Duty troops face the questions you want answered.
Did the CDC let the American people down? Tell me
I'm
about
proud
the
of you, Dylan.
decision. When was it made? Who made
Okay,
it? What is
Quebec.
the next area that you are concerned about?
one's
What
for
does
sure.
that
Oh,
mean
it's Ontario.
for the risk of
This one's Quebec.
reinfection
Nope.
here
Nope.
in the United
It's
States?
this one for
You
sure.
bring up a very good point, Margaret. Margaret, that's a great question.
I literally don't know any of
With
these.
Margaret Brennan on CBS.
What's
Go to
Alberta?
the ends of the earth right now. We got
Um,
something crazy. And reach
That's
for the
Ontario still?
stars.
Here we are.
Hey, British Columbia is definitely this one. That's Newfoundland.
Hey, this is pretty
That's New
fun.
Brunswick.
There's more.
That's,
Experience
yeah, Prince Edward Island. It's probably an island.
Innovative
Click.
and
That's Nova
truly
Scotia.
original reporting.
That's New Brunswick still.
Because there's always
Wait, what?
something
Oh, it's
new
this.
under the
It's
sun
this
on
fucker.
CBS
This fucker right here.
Sunday morning.
Saskatchewan.
I hope you're having
Up here
a
for
great
sure.
time.
Nope. Up here for sure. Up here for sure. What? Haha, I know this one because I clicked on it earlier. Haha. Northwest Territories. I bet that's at the Northwest. Nope.
Welcome back to CBS News. You're looking at Times Square here in New York
nope.
as we watch the returns
And,
come in here at
oh,
our CBS
nope.
News election
Yukon?
headquarters.
This
as
is
we
definitely
approach
Yukon
almost
and
midnight
Ontario
on the
and
East
New
Coast,
Brunswick.
what has become a long
Yeah.
night. It's looking
That
like
gave me
it's
a
going to be an
46%.
even
I do
longer
not deserve a
morning, or
46%.
perhaps week. With
There's
the
only
turns
like
coming in
8 of
right
them.
now,
What do you
this race is
mean?
coming down to several key states in
back,
the
did we
Rust
win?
Belt. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania,
US
where
states
there
no
are not
outlines
enough
minefield?
votes at this hour to
Okay, I
characterize
think I've
those
proven my
states.
United States
Among the
geography
battleground
knowledge
states
enough.
At this hour, CBS News
Now do
is
every country
characterizing
know.
All right,
Florida
yeah, that's definitely the
as
strat.
leaning
That's
toward
boring as
President
shit.
Trump,
I hate that
along with
compared to the old
the
one.
state
Bad
of
change, Derek.
Ohio.
Unless you're watching this,
Arizona
in which
is
case I'm a
leaning
huge
toward
fan,
Joe
and I
Biden.
love you. Great change, Derek.
Pennsylvania is
Dude,
still
Mexico,
in
I dare you.
toss-up,
I couldn't.
and so is
I couldn't
North
name a
Carolina,
single Mexico
we have to emphasize
province?
that doesn't mean anything's wrong.
Divination?
Anything's
State.
wrong.
It's state.
It's just taking
State?
a while to
Yeah.
process
I'm
the crush
pretty
of
sure.
mail-in votes.
I couldn't even name a name of one.
Let it be known that I'm pretty sure I only know this because I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé.
CBS News.
Which, by the way, fucking incredible television show. Highly recommend it if you want to just watch some fucking shit, man.
The 50th state is the
You like
49th
Survivor?
to close.
It's like really
Alaska
personal Survivor.
closes next hour in the race to 270 electoral votes.
I used
Joe
to be able to
Biden
name
leads
every
187
European country
to
on a map.
111, but there is
Whoa.
Back when I was
still
smart.
a long
Do the capitals
way.
quiz. I had to know that in like 10th grade.
Let's bring
You had
in
zero
Jose
chance. I
Toronto
don't.
with the very latest
Yeah, I had to know that for like.
I
US
never had to
like,
know that. I
It
got
was like
tested.
US
Dude, I got
US
tested on
government
it
or
once.
something.
I got tested on it once in like middle school, and I'm pretty sure I failed the test, and it just wasn't an issue. We just kept on going.
For Oklahoma history, I had to know the county seat for every county in Oklahoma.
What the fuck?
Wow. And
I didn't.
I did not.
Number of OK counties. There's so many.
Did you go to a real school?
Definitely headed President
Wait, that's a
Trump's
what the
way.
fuck? The first result is a PDF. I don't want to download a goddamn PDF. How many Oklahoma counties are there?
Ohio at the white voters without a four-year
How
college degree.
many
We talked earlier about
counties
women with a college degree.
are in
But
Oklahoma?
one of the things that Donald Trump
77.
did in Ohio, and I will watch
God.
to see if this happens in the rest of
There
the
are 77 counties in
He
Oklahoma, and I had to
increased
know
the
the name.
share of those
I had to look at
voters.
a map,
So
know what the county was, and know the county
Ohio in
seat.
2016, they're 53%.
It was
of
horse
the
shit.
exit
That
polls
sounds like an
tonight.
incredibly
And
hard
he
test.
did better. 35
Yeah.
points. He won them by tonight. He only won them by 30 points in 2016. So that's what you want to do: is you want to grow
got stickies.
and do
Feeling
better.
good.
And that's got to be part of his story in Ohio. Then the question is that going to be part of the story in Michigan?
Obama
It's
won that
in
county?
the different states, but not
And now it's
entirely
hugely
different. And
Trump?
What I wonder is
Oh,
what the Biden
that's
camp thought they
interesting.
saw
What happened?
when they sent Joe Biden to Ohio at the
What
end
happened?
there. And
Was that one of
is
like
the same bad vision? What's
the
giving
counties
them
that
confidence
Obama
tonight
won
in
with
those
like
Midwestern states?
creating a
they
working
sent
class coalition
Biden
that he
to
shuttered like
Cleveland
after he took
at the
office?
request of Sherrod Brown, the senator, believing that he could
Macomb
show
County's
up, do
always
one
read
last big
super
rally,
racist
turn out
area
big
lol,
margin
says
places
former
like
Michigan
Cuyahoga
resident
County, Cleveland.
Maloney.
Didn't offset these gains that the president made, but they remain confident.
Well, it's
that they're
not
gonna
always red,
prevail,
in fact,
ultimately,
because they
Wisconsin,
voted for Obama.
Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona
Also,
at
hi,
least.
Mr. Loney.
They're
If they were
nails
super
over North
racist, I
Carolina
feel
and
like they
Georgia
wouldn't
right
vote
now.
for the black guy.
But, you know, the way they see
At
it,
a
could be close,
super
but
basic
it's nowhere
level.
near over.
The president's deputy campaign manager, Rufus Gifford, just tweeting out, "We're going to win."
The vice president, the former.
Excuse me.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Biden's.
Don Man with
Yes,
$3 saying
former
somebody
Vice
already
President
made a
Biden's
DaddyTrump2024.com
campaign
website.
manager.
Ha ha
The
ha.
titles are
That's so fucking
different.
crazy.
Yes,
They think they
still
already
trying
think
to
Biden
project
won.
This air of confidence in
I
these
feel like
upper
these are two
Midwestern
separate
states.
messages.
But I guess
Yeah,
that's
for
the
the donor.
question. Does Ohio
I'm sure there's like
and Trump's
like
strength there
people will register
signal something
domain
about
names
those
so far in
other upper
advance.
Midwestern
I
states?
don't put any stock in that. It is quite funny though.
That's
if
one
that
of
is the point of the
great
message.
questions. You know, in Cuyahoga County, I was just looking here where they sent Vice President Biden at the end there. He basically did.
Ohio, you've let me down for the last
Ohio,
time.
So
just
he
like
didn't
Florida.
improve in that. That's the very
Add on.
strongest of Democratic strongholds in the
If
state.
it continues this way, it doesn't seem like the endorsement from the governor, former Governor John Kasich, made a difference whatsoever, did it?
No.
Yeah.
But more Ohioans are hospitalized with COVID-19
Hat off.
right
You hate to
now
see it.
than at any point in the pandemic. So in a place where you would think that that would be a massive factor, it is just interesting to see.
Right.
It's not.
And
Florida
we should
is
just point out that
50%
Ohio,
Ohio
though,
people.
we predicted Ohio that would likely
You graduate
go
from
Republican. It
Ohio
really
and move
wasn't
to
one of
Florida.
our,
Hat on.
You know, likely
You'll love to
toss-ups
see it.
that Joe Biden had spent very little time there. It was a fairly reliable Republican. It was one that he
it's
won.
not a surprise.
Well, he won it by 10 points. 2016. Michigan, he only won by 10,000 votes.
See, guys,
So,
look, Biden
it's a
is
different-
winning
it's a
hugely.
different ball
Look at the
of wax.
numbers.
And
Biden's
to
is way
both
bigger.
of your points in the exit polls, when Ohio voters were asked which is more important, containing the coronavirus or
off.
rebuilding the
Hate to see it.
economy, it was 48-47. 48 containing, 47 rebuilding. In the other states in the Midwest,
run
there's
is
a
still
much more of
alive.
a focus on
Hat on.
containing
Ah.
the
The
coronavirus, and that'll be one thing to watch
Tennessee.
as we look at votes in Michigan and Wisconsin.
Let me say this, in all of the conversations that we have had with Biden campaign officials,
Blue ball.
in all of their scenarios to win 270, they have two states that are on all three scenarios, and they're Michigan and Wisconsin. Those
Hat
are
off.
two must-win states for the Biden team. With
Competitive
any other
race.
combination they could win with that. So let's go to
They
Anthony
will run out of
Sargento
points
to
eventually.
ask him about Michigan and Wisconsin. If Joe Biden can't put those
Hat
in
on.
his column, it's over for him?
Probably. Now let's look into Wisconsin here.
Head
Overall,
on.
this is the number I keep coming back to, Nora. How much of the
Oh
vote has
yeah,
been
rev up those Nevada
counted?
votes.
And I'll show you it's now at 63%
It's time.
of what's expected. And again, I will emphasize that this number of expected vote is also itself a
You think
moving
hat would
target.
be like this
We're
when you made
learning
it?
about
Yes,
how
this
many
is
votes
literally
are
exactly what I
still
had in
to
mind.
come
Oh,
in.
hat back
But
on.
That's our estimate for the moment. Now, there's a 1.3 million ballots still
Why do you think I made both
outstanding.
the hat on
Let's
and
find
the
out
hat
where they
off
are.
option?
For one thing, let's look at Milwaukee. Okay, a lot of them are in Milwaukee. That's going to be a Democratic area, so the model might estimate that Joe Biden will do well there.
Pennsylvania,
We're still
only
waiting to see votes.
54%
Okay,
in.
Let's look at just south of there, Racine.
And they're just gonna like stop
turn
counting,
on the estimate.
right?
Okay, 64%.
Yeah, whenever it gets late enough, they'll say, I don't know, we'll do it tomorrow.
So I could go
It's
county
midnight
by
over there
county,
now, so they're
and
probably
what
done.
you're going to see is that we are still waiting on a great deal of vote.
What the
to be
fuck,
counted
Michigan?
In Wisconsin. Now, I'll
What the
back
fuck,
up
Texas?
1 second, go into Michigan. Okay, Michigan, we've got overall.
Who do you think is going to win, Dylan? I think
of the
Biden's going to
vote.
win.
So again, a long
It
way
is
to go.
becoming
Heading
a little
for
monka-esque.
5.6 million in our expected vote
Just a
estimate
little bit.
there. And I'm going to pull you back here to a couple of key counties in Michigan and zoom in. Okay.
I am
People
a
do
little
talk
more
about
worried
Macomb
than I
County
was.
at the moment. Heavily for Donald Trump.
hat off
Now,
most recently.
is that all the vote? No.
How do you
it's
think
not all the
Biden's
vote.
gonna
It's
win?
headed for almost a half million
Votes?
votes. So only about a half of that.
What?
has been counted,
That's
but
crazy.
They have the
still
write-in
trending
ballots.
towards the president.
Well,
Okay,
write-in is not the
Oakland
correct
County.
term. You're
Now,
thinking
this
of
is a little
mail-in,
more affluent
and no,
suburban county.
not
This
everywhere.
is the kind of place Democrats have wanted to win in Michigan.
Looking
So
like
far, Joe
impossible
Biden
are
doing
in.
okay
I don't
there,
think
but
it's
again,
impossible
same story,
for Biden to
64%
win.
in, not all of it. So we'll get a better estimate out of that as more and more comes in. All of it adds up to a still tight race.
Nora, Debbie Dingell is the congresswoman.
Debbie
from the Detroit
Dingell.
area, famously been quite pessimistic about her party's chances in Michigan.
Sorry,
Just a few
she's a
days ago,
congresswoman,
declared
but
she
I mean,
thinks
come
they'll be
on,
able to
Debbie
pull it off. Texted her a little while ago. Still feel that way?
Come
Sure,
on.
it's close,
Why did
but
Flint
okay.
go red? That's a wonderful
signal
question.
that
That
Why
is
the
a very-
fuck
that's
is
a-
Flint red?
What? Maybe it had to do with Obama going to Flint and drinking the Flint water and being like, poggers, and then like making goofs about it later on. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just a funny video game man, and funny's doing a lot of work right there.
Things that we thought we understood either are no
But
longer
actually,
true
though,
or
why do
not
they
as
not
true as
have
they used to
drinkable
be. So
water
we're
after
talking
like
about
how many
approval
years?
ratings,
5, 6?
Well, you
national
know,
exit polls,
would
and
it make
then
us
some
money to do
battleground
that,
states
Dylan?
and show you what I'm
At all.
talking about.
Come on.
All right.
Actually, yeah, probably.
President Trump.
Well,
65 to 32.
47 approve, 51 disapprove. This, historically, would be a
I just
danger
needed
zone
me
for an
and
incumbent president seeking re-election.
600,000 of my friends
George
to
W.
go and
Bush
vote for
narrowly
Biden.
won re-election in 2004 when his approval rating was 53%.
And then he would have won
Obama
Oklahoma.
re-election, 54%. So we would assume.
And it would have to have been from like statewide, because if they were all from Oklahoma City, it wouldn't matter.
Let's go to the numbers at battleground states and let me show
Wait,
you
is that how it
the
works?
national number.
Yeah.
By
Speak
district?
Yeah, it's
where
by
it
county.
matters the
It's
most,
by
or
county.
potentially matters the
Ah.
most. Florida,
Yeah.
approval rating 53.
It's
That's
awesome.
really stupid.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. No, it works great. It's normal.
It's
North
awesome.
Carolina, 50,
Your vote
48.
counts.
North Carolina remains
Fuck
close,
everyone living
but
like in
this
one
is part
area.
of the dynamic.
Yeah,
You know.
your
The
vote
national
counts
move
so
and
much.
The battleground move sometimes
The
do
double
not align.
electoral, I
and
see.
In these 3 states, the president is net approval positive, even though nationally he trails.
So you're saying
in a
if
way that we would ordinarily assume
50% of the state
an
lives in one
incumbent
county and they
must
vote
be
for one candidate, and then the other
That's so
50%
interesting.
lives in the other 76
I think those
counties,
numbers
and
are so
they vote for the
interesting
other one,
about
it'll be like
what
a
people look for
it'll be like a
candidate.
95 to 5
You know, you say
landslide.
you want
I love
integrity, you say
gerrymandering
you
in
want
Oklahoma. It's
character,
really
you say you
good. We
want
cut
truth.
up
I've
the
even
very
heard people who
populated
support
areas
him
into
say,
lesser
well, I wouldn't
populated
want my
areas.
children to
So we
behave
can
this way,
spread them
but-
around.
So what do
Get
you
'em going.
mean? What do people want?
And that's why you're not
One of the
allowed.
things
That's
I think
why I'm
is
going to have
worth
to
noting
deny
about
you this
Donald
housing
Trump
application,
and his
sir.
approach to politics is this. He assumes that strength always beats empathy, and that economy in this environment still beats COVID. Those are the 2 underlying theories of the case, and everything about the way the Trump campaign has conducted itself in the virus, talking about it, and talking about the economy reinforces both of those. Strength beats empathy, economy beats COVID. Even if it's just by slight margins, they believe that works.
Mitch
All right, hold on
McConnell
just a
running the Senate
second.
for another 2 years.
CBS News
Oh
is
man, I
projecting
can't believe that
President Trump
that
has
absolute
won the
dinosaur
state
is still
of
alive.
Ohio.
Yeah, he
Insane.
wondered.
And
His
some news
face
coming out
melts a
of the
little bit more
Biden
every day.
campaign.
He's
There
like
is,
reverse Dorian Gray.
former Vice President
Jim
and his wife
Inhofe is going to be
heading to
a
what's called the
91-year-old
State Center in Delaware,
senator.
where they're holding this
We
rally
got
with
another
supporters.
6 years of Jim Inhofe.
Expected to possibly possibly speak later
That's
this
cool.
hour. One source with knowledge of all this tells our Bo Erickson, who's covered the Biden campaign like nobody else,
and good.
The former vice president's expected to deliver a statement
Georgia
calling
leaning
for
Biden
patience
according
with
to
the
In
vote
My
count,
Times.
but he's also
Okay, Georgia, making the comeback.
I'm listening.
Georgia. They're doing the opposite of Super Bowl 51. They are instead coming back from the 28-3 deficit.
More straight ahead, we'll also check in with our correspondents around the country, along with more poll closings, projections, and the state of the race. You're watching CBS News 2020, America Decides.
America Decides.
Jim Inhofe, 90 years old, instead being anti-vax. Let's go Oklahoma.
Let's go Oklahoma.
What other backwards view can we adopt right quick?
Flat Earth, official flat Earth. There is no Earth.
Has taken the lives of tens of thousands of Americans.
We're finally going to update our textbooks in Oklahoma, and it's going to be with there is no Earth.
Trump winning by 38 points in West Virginia. Holy shit!
Americans are amongst the most vulnerable.
Holy
by
crap!
COVID.
Country roads my dick. I don't belong. West Virginia.
Any West Virginians in the chat, be ashamed.
Yo, y'all good?
Y'all doing all right?
38 points.
Yeah, this is Charleston. Charleston, Virginia says Trump is my candidate. Like, you know, I click on the states that go red and like the major states.
Typically red. Being red and losing by 38 points are two different things.
Yeah. We're reaching the Wyoming zone.
Not the Wyoming zone. That place is awful.
You veer right and you land into the Wyoming zone. I was really hyped earlier when someone in chat said, "Dylan, are you gonna bring on a like election panel or something?" I was like, "That's very official."
Oh, that's us
doing drugs and hopping in call.
Well, I would never. And I definitely did not.
The restaurant industry
That's what you're referring to as election panel mate.
industries in America.
I'm a Oklahoma vote specialist. Dad as heck.
Employer in the United States.
Trump 71 to 21 in Wyoming.
You're donating plasma to get by.
It's literally a slave wage.
Tom Brokaw.
I've never grown up like this. My mom didn't have to go to food banks. It's pretty sad.
Tall
you
sternum
stuff the
onyx
boxes for us? I already have.
By the tall onyx ankh.
I was every single one of the 450,000 Biden votes in Oklahoma. It wasn't enough, though.
I voted illegally in Miami-Dade 700 times for Joe Biden, where I am registered to vote. I'm also a poll worker, and I threw out hundreds, if not thousands, of Donald Trump votes.
It is a
for fun.
really red state that
This is real.
hope to flip in their favor. You'll notice there's barely 80% of the vote
Tall
in,
onyx
which is why we've yet to call this state, even though it closed at
Tuberville
7 p.m.
with a huge lead over
CBS's
Jones in
Strassman,
the Bama
who
Senate.
is in Atlanta tonight, and I
Former
understand,
NCAA
there's some
coach.
news about the vote count.
Tuberville.
Fucking insane.
Yeah, the vote counting is not going to end tonight. In fact,
We're going to
Georgia
get
looks like one of those states
Oklahoma Senator Bob Stoops. It's going to happen.
Dude, don't put that out there. I don't want it to happen, man.
Most populous county.
He's from Norman. He'll represent our interests.
About 11%.
That's not how that works, dude. Oh no. Oh shit.
Percentage of voters here in Georgia.
Caught by a huge, like double the votes
tabulators for the
in
night.
Arkansas.
They said that all those employees.
The tide is red, so the state is red. Roll Tide.
Since 6 o'clock this morning, they have sent them home. It's not going to happen tonight. In fact, they have only tabulated 49% of the vote here in Fulton County. And again, Fulton County is the most consequential county of all. in the state of Georgia in terms
Thank
of
you
raw
for your
numbers.
service, Dad. You're welcome.
So this is
This
just not gonna
136
happen
next to
here in
Trump's
Georgia. We're
name
not gonna have
does not
a
count
definitive
Texas,
answer
by the
as to
way.
who won this state, even though, as you mentioned, the polls have been closed.
So
since,
there's
7
another
o'clock.
cool
If you recall
38
earlier,
if
there
he
was a
locks
separate
that
issue,
in.
which is that,
More than
if
likely
the
when he
State Farm
locks
Arena,
that in.
which is where
Yeah.
Fulton County's
Unfortunate,
absentee
but
ballots were
not
stored. There was
surprising.
a water leak. They had to
Don't
suspend
this
tabulation
hair looks
for a
like the
while
fucking
until they-
lizard from
until
The
they
Hobbit
got
with all
that
those
under
squirrels
control.
that live in his
We're not sure
beard?
if that,
Is that
those
The
uncounted
Hobbit?
absentee ballots are part
Is
of
that
overall
Gandalf the Grey?
51% of Fulton County's ballots that have not been counted. But in any event, it's not.
I'm not familiar enough with The Hobbit.
Georgia Secretary
I thought you were
of State
gonna
predicted
say
that
I
they
looked
would
like
get it
Tree
done by
Beard,
midnight.
which was gonna be a
Fulton County
compliment.
officials said that was not true. That would not happen until tomorrow. Turns out the local officials were right. The Secretary of State was wrong. This is just not going to happen,
Ooh.
and this is going to add more frustration,
Rough.
of course, to people.
Let's
who
go.
would like
Let's
to
go
get an
try that.
answer as to
That
who
stream.
has
We're
won the
gonna
state
give
of
that
Georgia,
streamer strat
but we're not going to find out tonight.
an actual
Right,
honest
I
to goodness
understand now
try.
the
I'm gonna go
largest county in
stand there
Georgia
and I'm
saying
gonna
they are
walk away to go
suspending
pee.
the
And if I
vote
come back
count
and I'm
at this
alive,
hour in
it
Fulton
works.
County. Do you know about how many votes that may be? Is it
Georgia.
100,000? Is
Don't
it
know.
500,000?
I don't know, Nora.
That's a
Here's the
thick
thing.
Georgia
Again,
lead.
800,000 registered voters.
Yeah.
What percentage of
Ooh,
Fulton
that
County
is a thick
turnout,
lead.
In the early voting
I don't know
and
if that's
in
a lead
today's,
that is going to be made up
today's
by
turnout,
mail-ins.
Don't know. It is consequential.
Yeah, I
of course.
don't
This
know,
is a
bro.
very heavily Democratic county.
Yeah.
And so
I
for
don't
the
know.
Biden campaign in particular, this
Sounds
has
kinda crazy.
real importance
Crazy.
and resonance. And we
Don't
did
know if
not
that
hear
would
from
happen.
the County Board of Elections,
Right.
how many total votes, the raw number of uncounted votes, that's not clear.
It's crazy. Of the
All right,
Bidens
Mark
of 187,
Schwartzman
like
with
a
that
third of those
update
are from
on why we will
California.
not have the full vote count in Georgia. I think it's worth also pausing and saying,
55.
presidential
33
historians
excludes
point out
Georgia,
that we did not
Texas,
know the
and
presidential
Florida.
winner for
Ew.
certain before midnight on election nights in
Ew.
1960. 1968,
Ew.
1976, 2000, 2004, and 2016.
Ew.
So
That's
no one should
not good.
pretend that anything is different about this year. And of course, this year is a pandemic with a record turnout.
Ha
in
ha, it's a
terms
pandemic.
of
Hee
so many
hee
more
hee.
votes to count, and that's why we're facing what we are tonight in terms of not being able to.
Oh, God.
characterize the race
Oh,
or project
Mitch
a winner.
McConnell
Let's check in
actually
with
beat
PS3
Amy
members.
McGrath
Just a
the
couple of
fuck
things
out.
on
It actually
Fulton
wasn't.
County.
It
Hillary
actually wasn't
Clinton won that
close.
county by 40 points. That's how democratic
Wow.
it is. And 438,000 voters in Fulton County in 2016. The total early vote in Fulton County is 447,000.
What drink
so
are
that
you
was
on,
just
Arian? I think
early
this
vote in
is
Fulton County was larger
number
than the
5.
vote in 2016. So that doesn't even count what happened today. So there are a lot of votes in Fulton
So you're talking about
6
hundreds
hours
of
ago.
thousands of votes.
It looks, yes, I think that's the
200,000
case. And if you're a
200,000
Joe
people
Biden
died. Haha, funny.
supporter, those
Hey,
are votes that you
200,000
think
is
are coming to your
lowballing
ballot.
it.
You know, Nora, I'm curious to see how
It's
you
probably
said, you know,
closer to like
listen,
300,
don't be alarmed
350.
because we haven't had the vote 60, 62, whatever the years were that you named. The difference is the president has seeded the narrative that if we don't have the results tonight, he's going to either take legal action or that
Who's
the
winning the
vote is
popular
rigged
vote? I
if
have
it
no
doesn't
idea.
go his way. So it'll be
Biden is
interesting to
currently
see
leading the
how
popular
he will
vote.
accept this latest
The real
turn of
answer is
votes.
who cares?
His own
Yes.
Homeland Security Department,
49.7%,
so
it is
that
very
they
close.
don't expect to get results tonight, a final word. As to Georgia, they said there is no indication that the problems they're having in a number of different counties were the result of malicious activity. In fact, in
Hey, it looks
Gwinnett
like
County,
my
they
theory
had stopped
crafted strat works.
scanning
Ravens
ballots
hat on? I don't
in
have
DeLake
that.
County. In 2 other counties, they had
Sorry.
to switch to paper ballots
Ravens
because
hat.
of issues there.
I don't got a
But they're
Ravens
saying
hat.
that this
Dylan,
is not
why
the
not?
result of malicious activity. This is
Why
the
do you not own a
president's
hat for every
Homeland
NFL
Security
team, Dylan?
Department.
I thought you
So
liked
it
the
is
NFL. Name 5 other
interesting to have
teams.
that on the record, given what you were just pointing out.
I could do
It's a
that.
supply and demand issue, basically.
Didn't Georgia
I
have
could-
a
I
problem
could
with
probably
the vote
name all
count
32.
recently?
They did during the primary.
They did.
Brand new voting systems. This is
Okay.
the first time they're using them in this election, which kind of stunned other election officials that they would go out in this election with new
Man, Jim Imhoff
technology.
with 63%.
Significant
So
issues
sick.
before that
Love
this
that.
is correct.
Yeah,
Got
it was
Which is why they
huge.
pushed the early vote so much in that state, and it seems to have
Big
paid off.
lead.
We
Then
should update everyone.
Like the
we are
NFL name every
expecting to
starting
hear
player.
soon
I could
from
probably
former
do a
Vice
half
President
decent
Joe
job
Biden
at naming
and
every,
live
at least
from
like the skill
Wilmington, Delaware.
positions.
That's coming up,
You're
and
pretty
we'll bring it
badass.
to you straight
For
ahead.
the offenses.
We're going to take a
Yo,
short
nice
break.
flex.
Well,
COVID has taken the lives of tens of thousands of Americans.
COVID has taken the lives of tens of thousands of Americans. Okay, okay, advertisement. Tens of thousands, we're saying.
Well, it's not inaccurate. It's not inaccurate.
It's true, it's not. It has taken the lives of Americans
are amongst the most vulnerable and hardest hit.
COVID-19 has taken a single life.
COVID-19, the more we lose.
This is not a false statement.
Way of life.
We need to bring awareness to the attention of Washington, D.C. and United States citizens that there is a need to focus on the first citizens of this country.
Fucking Chuck. I just hate looking at him. I don't know what it is. How long are you planning on going for tonight? I don't know. How long you planning to go for tonight?
Ask your mom. Your mom.
I don't know. What do you want to do today? Stardust Lights, Tier 1. Electoral College Unpog.
Essentially, they made a change in a narrow win by
So Georgia isn't
Richard
counting
Nixon.
for the rest of the day,
His
for the rest of the
selection
night.
is very much the same. Voters are going to
So we're locked at
narrowly make a
80% in
change,
Georgia.
but you're going to have to wait and see.
According to the Times.
No, there's no doubt. Jeff Horwitz, answer the critique of the polling community.
Hi, Don. How are
I've been
you?
making it clear to folks
Yeah, you know.
I think the problem are these public state
If they're a
polls
fan, they know how it's
that
going.
sort
I
of,
feel pretty
you know,
decent.
maybe besmirch
Dread
the
is mounting.
reputation of quality
I had a
national
full
polls,
Four Loko.
or others, but it does seem as
He
if
called
the
us
state
mounting
polls
bread.
it massively misled us.
Wet ass P-word.
Hey.
Half a year of wet ass prime.
Thanks for the wet ass
rightfully
prime.
So as an industry, we need to be judged by the results, and we will.
Prime gaming.
And that's
Prime
important. I do think that it's important right now to keep perspective. We have talked about how this election is being decided two ways: one on election day, and one with voters who voted earlier by mail.
Right,
and those votes in places.
This sure is John Politics.
Many places are yet to be counted. So
No,
we should be judged. We should be looked at that. But there are two numbers that are important here. One is that Joe Biden nationally by over 1.1 million votes.
Oh no!
And then about 1 in 4 votes.
I wonder if somebody with a name that rhymed with Ernie would have won.
To make sure that we are looking at the industry as a whole and how the results come in, but also, as we've talked about, it's important to be patient, make sure the votes are counted.
The dread is mounting.
Gamers, that's a drink.
Brothers and sisters, all the votes counted, and to look at the industry and see how we've done.
Bill McInturff, do you have a theory on what we're seeing in the Sun Belt and why the polling basically seemed to be, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 5 points in air towards the Democrats?
Let's get lit.
You mean are you talking about Arizona? Are you talking about
the Sun Belt
Carolina?
states? I'm talking about North Carolina, Florida in particular are the ones that stick out pretty clearly, but I could throw in Ohio in there if you'd like, and a couple of these other states we've seen.
There's a few things. First, white non-college men are voting for Donald Trump between 30 to 45 point margin. That's a lot of margin. And then also remember, in Florida, the President Trump is at something like 45% of this.
That's a lot of nuts.
A new record or a new high since George Bush. And there's even some states where he's picking up a little chunk of African American. Not much, but you know, margins matter. And so the coalition that Trump said he would put together, which is non-college whites, especially men, a little Latino, and a very small amount of African Americans, we sort of watched that happen tonight.
Peter, are we really starting to see
apparently
what
Michigan
could be a
needs
future,
until
what
Friday
Donald Trump's putting
until they
together
announce
here?
a winner?
He's
I think Michigan was one of the states that didn't start counting any of the mail-in ballots until today.
That's what we're seeing, I think, in some of these Latino numbers.
Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania.
Are the two parties going to start organizing
not
themselves
decided.
along those lines if somehow you take Donald Trump out of the equation when it comes to race?
Titanfall 2.
Well, I think that's a good possibility, but I think what stood out to me about the
Titanfall 2
numbers tonight is that Joe Biden won the macro war in terms of communicating with voters.
Joe Biden won the macro war. Did he? I feel like the macro war is winning the presidency, and we don't know who won that yet.
His macro is huge.
And that's
Joe Biden won the macaroni war.
We looked at the macro. A lot was happening on the micro level.
All right, I'm going to leave it there for now. We'll
Yo,
be
get in
checking
here,
back
Ree.
in because we're making you guys stay up.
Get in
but
here,
at least you
Ree.
get to be in your own homes. I think when we make you stay up late. Jeff Horwitz, Bill McInturff, our chief pollsters on the NBC Wall Street Journal poll, and of course, the indelible Peter Hart. Thank you, gentlemen.
We are expecting Joe Biden to address supporters any moment now.
He cannot remember their names.
Andrew, you got any little more on that?
Well, just that there is some nervousness about Pennsylvania still. You know, I know it's early and we don't have the early vote. We have the day of vote, but there's some nervousness there. Exit polling gives
like
Donald
the
Trump
whole,
higher
quote,
marks
blue
than
wall,
4 years ago on
and
favorability.
quote, decided to take the week off.
According to the exit polls that,
Get in here,
I said before tonight,
said their opinion of
we
Trump
would
was
literally
favorable.
never know.
53% said unfavorable. That is a dramatic change according to the exit poll, when it was 38% favorable to 60%.
Tonight's results, either way that they
That's
lean, are not
All right,
conclusive.
let's go to Kristen Welker. She's over at Biden headquarters. What are you hearing?
What was Biden's campaign slogan? It was "Build back better."
Build back better.
Build back better.
Inspires a lot of confidence.
Personally, not even a coherent sentence.
Really started to come to life here. We're seeing more
Just perfect for Joe Biden.
They are waiting to hear
It was
who they voted for, Joe Biden. And it comes as we've been talking to campaign officials who say they are watching what is happening.
We're waiting on Darkle.
Quite closely. It is giving them
Get in here, Darkle.
encouragement. They're also looking at Georgia. They're saying that they're not ready to give up on Georgia. But look, one top aide told me their
we gotta play
primary
Titanfall
path has
2.
always
We gotta
been
shoot
the
some people
blue
in the
wall.
head.
Michigan,
In a video
Wisconsin,
game.
and Minnesota.
Ground
And another aide saying they are still confident that they're going to carry those 3 states. So look, if Biden is able to pull off
Joe Biden
a win
expected
in
to
Arizona,
speak shortly.
then if he sweeps those Midwestern states,
Can I join
he
y'all's
doesn't need
network?
to
Go
win
for it.
Pennsylvania. On the other
Free
hand,
country.
if he
Biden up in the
comes
popular
short in
vote
Arizona,
by
then he would need a
0.9%.
victory in
Don't care.
Pennsylvania, and that's part of why he spent so much time in
Huge
Pennsylvania,
lead.
even making
0.9%,
stops there today,
huge.
Fighting for every
Are the chat members
last
join?
vote.
Go
So
for
you
it.
see
Join
there the
TF2 as heck.
motorcade, Savannah,
I'll
heading
I'll
from
send
Joe
out the
Biden's
invite
home, heading
network.
here.
Fox
We
DMCA'd and banned a
to
Twitch streamer.
speak.
Stay
We expect
safe.
to hear from him,
Ooh, yeah.
I
within
hope
the
that's
next
not me.
hour or
MSNBC's
so,
got people in the past.
as early as 15 minutes, depending on how quickly
be
he
careful.
can get here.
It'll be your
And
first,
again, we
your
anticipate
first
that he is
Fed.
going
Yeah,
to
it's fine.
address what we
I-
have all been talking about.
I
all
understood
night,
that
which
at
is
the
that there
time,
are still a number
but,
of states that are counting.
we are
a
running the
number
risk.
of states
But,
that he spent
yeah.
a lot of time campaigning in, and this election hangs in the balance, Savannah.
All right. Thank you, Kristen.
What if we just
Hallie Jackson is
switch
joining us now
networks
from
real
the White
fast,
House.
though?
Hallie, how are they viewing a
What
night
network
in
are you on
which
now?
there is, as
If
was
we
pointed
go down,
out,
we go down
no
together.
red wave, no blue wave.
Scoop.
Just
What do you want?
a lot of
CBS.
solid red and blue.
If we
There's,
go
again, with the
down,
Trump
we
effect,
down
that
together.
whatever the polls are, there is something beneath them that is more pro-Trump than the polls indicate or can be found.
How much time do we have?
About 30 seconds.
Go quickly to Florida.
Florida.
Dive into Miami-Dade.
Well, that I
Can we-
can't
can
do
we do
because
that?
that is
Oh,
Anthony
okay.
Salvanto. My contract for this timeshare
My
does not allow
contract?
me to go county by county. I can only
Cool.
go state by state.
We'll negotiate
What?
that for next.
Cool.
Negotiate that next time. That'll keep always
His
keep it happy.
That was
contract
weird.
only allows him to be state by state.
I can't tell if that was like a weird joke or.
I don't think so.
2020 America this side.
Okay.
Neat.
I'm not legally allowed to go county by county. That was a joke? Are you sure?
It didn't sound like a joke.
That was a
What's the
bad joke.
punchline?
Well, maybe he was trying to be funny, but he's just very nervous.
If it was a joke,
Whoa,
why didn't
Snakes,
he?
Do you think that the president has
If
the
it was a joke,
authority
then
to
why?
send in
Like,
active
he just
duty
can't
troops?
do it.
The questions you want answered.
Did the CDC let the American people down? Tell me about the decision. When was it made? Who made it?
Back
What
to
is the
DC.
next area
Roll
that
the
you
dice.
are
What the fuck do you
concerned
mean?
about? What does that mean for the risk
Where
of
do you live?
reinfection
Oklahoma.
here in
I
the
invited
United
the
States?
network.
You bring up a very good point,
Bitch.
Margaret. Margaret, that's a great question.
Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan on CBS.
Go to the ends of the earth.
Right now.
We got something crazy.
Boom.
And reach for the stars.
Here we are.
Time.
Yes, it's my comeback.
Hey, this is pretty fun.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Welcome to the idea of being
You care about local election ads? We just had some good ones in
truly
NYC.
original reporting.
No.
And go, wow.
Because there's always something new
No,
under
not
the
really.
sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Wilmington. Joe Biden expected to speak for.
Trump is radio silent.
Yeah, what's Twitter's
Welcome
like?
back to CBS News.
Have either of them been tweeting?
Times Square. It's coming
No,
up
Donald Trump has not tweeted.
12:30 Wednesday
Really?
morning in the East. 9:30
Yeah, that's what
Tuesday
this
night in the
caster
West.
just
Well, he
said.
did sound like he was crashing super hard this
From
morning.
the
So
former
Yeah,
Vice President
he had
Joe
taken a
Biden
big
outside
nap.
of the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware. We're expecting
Biden
to
last
hear him
tweeted
call
3
for
hours
patience
ago
from the
in
American
Spanish.
people, because it is very
Yeah,
clear
it's just
at
like a
this
bunch
hour,
of
and with so
retweets
many
about
votes still
polling
outstanding
places.
in the 3 key battleground states of Wisconsin,
Biden 4 hours ago
Michigan,
says, "Stay in line,
Pennsylvania,
folks."
And with voting stopped in one of the largest counties in Georgia, we are not going to be able to project a winner tonight. And Ed, this was a scenario that the Biden campaign was hoping wouldn't happen tonight.
Wouldn't happen, but totally, prepared for it, as did the Trump campaign.
We had to pull a call
like
in
we
2000.
said, they were hoping for some kind of early victory in the Southeast that would give them a signal that the president's opportunity to get back to 270 would be more difficult. But we're holding
hell yeah,
out,
we got glitch.
Who would have thought plumbing issues in Georgia, for example, are holding up the vote there. We're waiting on 1 or 2 key counties in North Carolina. And then, of course, just the crush of absentee mailed-in ballots in Pennsylvania slowing things down there as well. So if he calls for patience and is encouraged by what he's seeing in Arizona and Georgia, there's still a chance. It just may not happen tonight.
And it's not just the plumbing in Fulton County in Georgia. I mean, DeKalb is 31% of the vote is in. There are a number
MAGA
of
promises
strongholds
kept?
Democratic counties
Okay,
in
but-
Georgia that
Damn.
are very, very
Biden
slow
winning by
in counting, which is,
40%?
which means that the Biden vote has not
Cali
come
right
yet
now?
from the county.
Yo,
Wow.
give me your
We've
Twitch
been saying
Prime, bro.
this for a while, but no one will be surprised if we're sitting there.
Winning by like
this
4
time,
million
not
votes
knowing
in
how
Cali
this is
right
gonna
now.
turn out. So all is going according to plan, John.
Well, it seems like 2 things are happening. One, President Trump
crazy.
is doing better than a lot of the pre-election polling showed, and then you've got these hiccups like whatever's happening in Georgia, adding another flavor to why it may take a little bit longer.
Which has been a staple of the Trump campaign. You could not believe the polls.
And
they've been saying that since 2016, and it seems that maybe that might bear out tonight with some of the advantages that some of the gains that they've made tonight.
It's worth noting that, I mean, we always expect to have an indication of the direction, but technically, you don't really have to have a certified election until well into December. Right. So gear up for some litigation here.
But I hope we're not still sitting here the 5 of us in December, right?
DC, Biden 91, Trump
I
5.9.
I bathe.
We should, because we are expecting any moment now
District
to
of
hear
Columbia.
from the Bidens. Let's go to Joe Biden headquarters. Nicole Killian is standing by there in Wilmington, Delaware. And Nicole, tell me what you're hearing.
Oh, I keep getting grab stars.
We
This
have
sucks.
seen more supporters start to file in, and there is a mix of confidence but also nervousness here. And as you mentioned, we
The
do
libs don't want you to gift dad subs. That's
President to
true.
urge patience
Bernie,
tonight.
MAGA chuds in the chat. I am Donald Trump's favorite Twitch streamer, and he would love you personally if you gave me 100 subs right now.
Caution that this could be election week, not necessarily
We go way back.
election night.
I got family ties.
Also stressed that they know states
DC
like
is
Michigan,
scary left wing.
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania could take longer
Definitely.
to count, and they were prepared for that. A top Democratic official in Michigan telling me tonight they're still confident that Joe Biden can win Michigan. It may not be decisive, but they do expect him to pull out that win. It's just a matter of waiting.
Joe
for
Biden
the
expected
vote
to speak
count,
shortly.
according to this official. And so keep in mind that with all that
fuck?
being said, certainly as you have
Now
referenced,
it's got
the
weird.
campaign ideally
What's
wanted
current
to
state of
set
Texas?
the tone
Texas
tonight
is
if
leaning
states
Trump.
like North Carolina, Florida,
It is
Georgia
Texas.
possibly broke their way.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's still some uncertainty there with some of those races, but by and large, I also want to point out that the campaign had this strategy of
But
17
it's hard to
battleground
call
states that they were targeting, states
this
they
time
wanted
around.
to protect, states they wanted to win back, and states they wanted to expand. And for that reason, that was a way that they could kind of play around and carve out a variety of different paths to 270. So again, while there is still a sense of confidence here tonight, also a sense of caution, and that's really what the campaign has kind of been telling us all along.
Bro, who fucking cares?
Nebraska map.
Why are we looking at Nebraska?
What if they swing?
Omaha! Wow, dude, look at this one blue province. This one blue county. That's crazy. All right, back to Nebraska.
On that, but certainly we would bring you any remarks live as well. want to check in with Major Garrett, who has new information for us on the exit poll data.
We're not exit polls, Dora. We're going to talk about the vote count, why it will take a little bit of time, and I want to quote both campaigns, Trump and Biden. What is their attitude about voting? Every vote counts in a verified and accurate way. Well, to do that, in a pandemic, you have to respond to a much larger percentage of votes by mail, absentee ballots, which we have a lot. I want to show you a map of our battleground states that we've identified for this election. And then from that, I'm going to show you the... Oh, okay. We're going to look back at the camera. Okay. So, we have 13 battleground states, but there are 3 states we've already zeroed in on tonight, and the implications of absentee ballots there will be very large. So, Pennsylvania has 2.5 million absentee ballots that have come in. Not incidentally, 400,000 of them coming into Philadelphia. Wisconsin has 1.9 million absentee ballots, Michigan 2.8 million. All 3 of these states could not even begin to process those ballots until today.
Trump left his supporters out in the cold twice.
Wait, again? Oh, yeah, no, he did do it twice.
All under rules established by the state.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a very Chad move of him to show that much
He left his supporters out in the cold twice.
I was hoping he was going to do it a third time. That would have been awesome.
It was 3? What was the third?
But you can't challenge
I heard
things
of
as we
2.
know them now. The process is being followed. The absentee ballots are larger than
It was
they've ever been
3
in these 3
times?
states. They all loom large on the electoral college map. We know that now. Patience
Where
is
he
advised.
buses a bunch of his supporters to the rally and then doesn't bust them back.
Well, you don't have the money.
And that's a good
Or you
point.
don't feel like spending it.
Patient and as
Hat on,
people
hat
are
off.
reading the results. I want to bring in Anthony Salvanto because he'll be able to tell us
North
exactly
Carolina,
how
no.
little
Florida,
of the vote
no.
is actually in those states in the upper Midwest that
Come on.
Major was just talking about. Can we go through some of those
Arizona,
states?
yes.
Yes, Arizona.
Go crazy.
Arizona, yes.
63%
Michigan,
wild.
no.
There to be 3.6 million is in. Now you see every county on the map here is lit up with something. That
Texas,
means there has
okay.
been some vote reported. The question is, what is the mix
At least you
of
tried,
that vote?
Texas.
Is it election day,
Yeah,
which
hat
we
off.
believe favors the president, or is it early vote and mail vote, which would favor Joe Biden? It's a little bit hard
Montana,
to tell.
too early to call.
Let me walk you
We'll
through
never
a couple
know.
of the key
We will
counties
never
that
know.
we'll be watching. Okay, I've talked about. Well, let's go to Waukesha. Okay, not much of that is still left to count. 72,000 votes, but could be really important. The question is, what kind of vote is it? I'll go back again, look statewide. I'm going to go to Milwaukee. This is really important for Democrats. That
Texas
is
cities
by
try.
and
Yeah,
large
cities in general
still
try.
outstanding. Only 36% of Milwaukee has been counted. So until you see whether or not Joe Biden can really run up a margin there, your vote model overall for the state is going to be more uncertain. Now, let me go and show you Michigan. Very much the same story. Okay, you're going to see a lot of red, and you're going to see a few areas of blue. This is the case in almost every state. Democrats living in cities and suburban areas, otherwise rural areas, more Republican.
Is it gonna be blue or is it gonna be red? Because that's the only thing that matters.
Then let's zoom in again. We're going to look at Wayne County.
You're either one or the other.
No, Dylan, every vote counts exactly the same.
Almost a million ballots. Almost
How
a
dare
million
you.
ballots still to count in Wayne County. So, long way to go before all of that adds up to.
And that's a good explanation of just how much further we have to go and the potential litigation that also exists, given that there is a vote count still ahead, that as the race is going to hinge on these states, that it will be a battle of the lawyers in many ways.
Biden on the scene.
Settling in the court, perhaps.
I'm surprised you got so late.
There's still more to find out. We just don't know at this point. We pledged everybody at the beginning that we would be transparent from the beginning.
What if he
We would
claims
let everybody
victory?
know as soon as we can. And halt it, a race when we can.
That'd be
but we wouldn't
that'd be a
rush this
Chad
process.
move, I think.
Will he or will he not Fortnite dance?
Because they know they're going to get a couple of
jobs coming out of this very soon.
Vote's still out.
Well, in fact, and
What if he
probably know the
concedes?
numbers better than I do.
He goes,
but
actually,
I
I'm
know
kind
at
of
least on the
bored.
Biden team, they
I'm
had
too
already
sleepy to
had
play in this
hundreds,
race any longer.
lawyers,
They would say thousands.
Trumpy's fighting 2-1 in Oklahoma.
Volunteer basis ready to.
It actually is a 30-point victory. Oh no!
Ooh, that's so
He's up by-
surprising. Oh no.
He's ahead by 33.
Oh no, I hate this.
Right. There was something like 400 almost total.
0.2% of
with
people in
different
Colorado
interest
voted for
groups in
Kanye?
the state
Yeah,
level.
that's statistically
But some of
insignificant.
these things were anticipated. There was arguing in each state because it is a
Those
50-state
people don't
race
matter
about
in this
how long
election.
the window could be during which
As far as
ballots
the
could
results are
be
concerned.
received. Exactly what you talked about earlier, Nora, with drop boxes.
I could have voted for
State by
Kanye in
state, how
Oklahoma.
you vote
I bet
And
they
I could have
smoked some good weed today.
I could have told all my friends and also convinced them to vote for Kanye in Oklahoma, and the result would not have changed. I could have convinced all of you, assuming you were Oklahoma residents, to vote for Kanye in Oklahoma, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Why there can't be some kind of automated system.
I
that
could
no
have
matter where you
convinced
live,
literally
you fill out
my
the same
entire
kind of
city
form.
to vote
You
for
know, sure,
Kanye, and it
timing
wouldn't
may
have
be
mattered.
different depending on the state that you're in. I don't understand.
You
why
sound
we're sitting here in
defeatist.
2020.
Are you
No,
a Russian
I could've-
bot?
I could have convinced
I don't know why
literally
we're
like
sitting
all
here in
like
2020
what
there isn't some
200,000 people that live in Norman to vote for Kanye successfully, and it wouldn't have mattered.
System because it's state by state that they administer it, but I've had U.S. intelligence officials, current and former, raise this, saying we need to have a real conversation about how we administer these things in our country. Not saying the federal government takes everything over, but after 2000, when they had the big problems in Florida, there was a major infusion of federal dollars in helping the states upgrade. A lot of these states, as we know, are pretty cash-strapped right now. They've been having a lot of budget problems. Not everyone is prioritizing investing in their systems.
There were some studies over the summer that said they needed $4 billion to help modernize these election
How
systems.
often has
to avoid
Kanye ran
some
for president for promoting his music? This is the first time.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about anybody going blind looking at Chads. But I think that there's so much at stake that they would figure this out. Is the only
And
point
it's been a long time since that money was infused.
Exactly.
It's a good point.
And as you can see, we're taking live pictures from Wilmington, Delaware, where there is a drive-in, as is standard for the Biden campaign. And Joe Biden's motorcade arrived just a short time ago. Nicole Killian is there and witnessed the reaction from the crowd. Nicole, give us a flavor for what it's like there.
Well, a lot of honking horns not too long ago, and I'm sure we will hear more once the former vice president takes the stage. He is expected to be accompanied by his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, and I hear an announcement right now, so I'm going to step out of the way so you can take this.
Oh, perfect time.
It's a lot of honking, huh? What you got to say, Mr. Biden? Tell me something good, bro.
Good evening. Your patience is commendable. We knew this was going to go wrong, but who knew we were going to go into maybe tomorrow morning, maybe even longer. But look, we feel good about where we are.
Right outside the Chase Center.
We really do.
Shouts out to Chase Bank, a huge contributor to my campaign.
We believe we're on track to win this election.
Honk, honk. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep. I'm in
Beep,
Jeep.
beep.
Take a while. We're going to have to be patient.
That's a great light.
The hard work of tallying votes is finished. And it ain't over till every vote is counted. Every ballot is
God, he's so bright.
But we're feeling good. We're feeling good about where we are. We believe
I think we can do it, probably.
we've already won Arizona, but we're confident about Arizona. We also just called it from Minnesota, and we're still in the game in Georgia, although that's not one we expected. We're feeling real good about Wisconsin and Michigan.
Who's more
Beep,
drunk,
beep,
me or
beep,
Biden?
beep. Who's more attractive?
Who's more drunk?
Oh, Biden.
Pennsylvania.
feel like I'm more apt to deliver this speech. Scared to fight right now.
You support Biden or Trump? No hate, just wonder. I hope Joe Biden wins the election.
That's the decision of the American people.
I'm still pulling for Al Gore personally.
But I voted for Elizabeth Warren. I wrote her name in 3 times.
I voted for Herman Cain.
I voted as Herman Cain.
Hey, Joe, the Gov, yeah, the whole team, man. You've done a great job. I'm grateful to the poll workers, to our volunteers, our canvassers, everyone who participated in this democratic
Shut up, Bree. I'm
process.
having fun.
And I'm grateful to all my
the
supporters here in
people.
Delaware and all across the nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And folks, you heard me say it before. Every time I walk out of my grandpa's house up in Scranton, he'd yell, Joey, keep the faith. And my grandma, when she was alive, yelled, no, Joey, spread it. Keep the faith, guys.
Yeah.
And then my friend Corn Pop comes up and he rubs on the blonde hairs of my legs in the pool when they turn invisible.
Let's walk over here.
God damn, my dad could drive a car. That was my favorite
I love my
one.
Mustang.
What is this song?
And some short remarks there
Scranton.
by the former vice
I love The
president
Office.
calling
Are you an
for
office head, bro?
saying that they're doing better than expected in Arizona, as another network has called that race for Arizona, but CBS News at this hour is saying that it is likely.
Now let's walk.
Made a full projection on that race. Also noting that the Biden team feels like they're doing well still in Georgia, with so much of the vote outstanding in key Democratic counties that are voter-rich in Democratic votes.
Well, that was inspiring.
Yeah, like what's the point, you know?
Yeah. That Minnesota has been called.
The votes are cast. His job is done.
For him, although it's likely to be one of his. He said, I believe we're on track to win this election. He called for patience. It ain't over until every ballot is counted. He added later, we may know the results by tomorrow.
I want Trump to come out and say, it's fucking over. You won. GG.
He fucking crushed it.
Joe Biden can't possibly compete. He lost every important state. The other ones don't matter. California sucked my dick.
Well, California is going to hell, according to Donald Trump. Straight to hell.
If they weren't so democratically run, they wouldn't be on fire. Get owned. You're not getting my support. Go fuck yourself.
Sitting in your car, honking a horn. And
it's a democratic-run state. It's not my problem.
I'm really glad you bring this up because I think this may end up being one of the either
okay, cool 2-minute speech, Joe.
The biggest blunder of them all. They decided to keep him off the trail.
Doing great, guys. We're totally gonna win. It's actually super lit. We're not gonna know if I actually won tonight, but you're doing great. Smile. Goodbye.
Hey, thanks for the 2 months,
And a lot
Yeti.
of them are getting sick too, though.
They are.
Look at that.
I hope
A lot
you
of people
have
who
a
attend
nice
Trump
beverage.
rallies-
But the broader point they're making is, even though there's a pandemic, even though everyone's at home, voters have to be contacted, doors have to be knocked on, and the Biden campaign didn't do much.
Well, but Pennsylvania was his most visited state at 4 visits?
No.
right?
No, 19 total.
Trump tweets. I repeat, Trump tweets are out.
Ooh, new Trump
I'm
just
repeated.
dropped.
Trump has tweeted.
I'm just
Hit
saying
me.
there will probably be a debate among those who run campaigns.
I will be making
Oh,
it
no.
a big win.
Before President Trump.
Oh,
You
no.
want to give your supporters a shot in the arm. You want to suggest also that, I mean,
I will be making a statement tonight. A big win.
Look at the tweet before that one.
Shaping of the debate competition.
Look at the tweet before that one.
Preemptively get in front of the
What's he
president.
got?
We are a big, but they're trying to steal the election. Capital E election. We will never let them do it. Votes cannot be cast after the polls are closed.
Like 10 polls.
Actually, legally, anybody that's still in line can have their vote cast. That's like a big, it's a big important part of voting. So wait, does that mean he's given up on just like stopping to count the votes? He's just like no more votes cast after the polls close, regardless of who's in line.
He's pre-Johning. It's the pre-John. He's making excuses for why he lost before he even loses.
COVID has taken the lives of tens of thousands of Americans.
rural areas like this here on Navajo
I gotta
Nation
tell ya.
especially hit hard.
He's super online.
30% of our Navajo citizens don't have running water.
In any indigenous reservation, there is a shortage of
Okay,
physicians.
I think it's pizza roll o'clock, chat.
Are amongst the most vulnerable and hardest
That's a
hit.
good
I
o'clock.
believe
Yeah.
it
The
is.
more we
It is
lose
time
our
for
elders to
pizza
COVID-19,
roll.
The more we lose our language and our way
He
of
deleted.
life.
Oh, I got the screenshot.
Wait, he deleted?
Oh, he deleted?
No, he never
Washington,
deletes.
D.C. and United States citizens that there is a need to focus on the first citizens of this country.
CBSN Los Angeles. Get local news, breaking news, anywhere.
Oh, he corrected polls.
Download the CBS News.
Wait, how did he spell polls the first time?
Like tent poles.
No!
Like POLE.
No, dude, you're the president.
He kept in capital E election.
Oh no.
And on all your favorite devices.
We live
What
in a
is
normal
going
country.
on?
In 60 years, we went from about 100,000 factory workers to probably about 7,000.
Off in the distance, you can see some factors that are still humming. Most of them are just kind of abandoned.
The restaurant industry right now is one of the largest and fastest growing industries in America. And yet it continues to be the absolute lowest paying employer in the United States.
Barely anybody's making enough to live.
You're donating plasma to get by.
It's literally a slave wage. I don't remember growing up like this. My mom didn't have to go to food
Dylan's
banks.
gonna love this.
What do we got?
Oh, the tweet edit of polls to polls.
God damn, we are getting run over this game.
We're falling behind. Let's pull it together, team.
Welcome back to CBS News Election Headquarters, where the former Vice President Joe Biden has just addressed the nation and supporters in Wilmington, Delaware, saying, "Keep the faith. I am optimistic, and be patient, as there are still millions of votes to be counted across America." In some places, they have stopped the counting due to labor issues and other issues that
broken pipes.
Broken pipe in one particular issue. We're also expecting to hear from President Trump tonight. I want to bring in Weijia Zhang at the White House, where the president has been watching the returns, and a note that we will not report anything that is inaccurate on our air, but certainly characterize how the campaigns are feeling at this hour. Weijia?
Nora, the president is watching the returns and apparently watching
damn,
the
we're
former
getting
vice
stomped.
president, because as soon as Joe Biden left the stage,
So many people screenshotted it? Yeah, he's the president.
A pair of tweets. He said, "I will be making a statement tonight, a big win." He also
And
said,
he's also,
"We are
like,
up big,
always
but
posting.
they are trying
It's
to
great.
steal the election. We will never let them do it. Votes cannot be cast after the polls are closed." Of course, for those of us who have covered President Trump for several years, we will never try to interpret what he means, but we can only tell you what he has said up to this point. And it seems like he is talking about mail-in ballots, which he started sowing doubt about months and months ago. It seems like he's talking about all the votes that will be counted after Election Day. That's because he bluntly said as much many times during his last round of rallies to supporters, saying that we ought to know by the end of tonight, by the end of November 3rd, the results and the votes of every race. Of course, that's not going to happen. And so now he's beginning to say, look, they're trying to steal it away from us. This tells us where his mind is, where he's going.
The president tweeting that the election should end on November 3rd is a blatantly ahistorical closing argument. Votes in a fair election have been counted past election night. Every vote should be counted and tabulated is exactly at the heart of a democracy, and America is the greatest democracy in the world.
And we should just stop for a moment. We've all interviewed national security officials who are working in the administration to keep rumors from spreading. and keep people from undermining the election. And this kind of report is at odds with what work they're doing.
Right, and parroting that as well. Some CBS stations will be leaving us for local election returns. For the rest of you, our coverage continues. You're watching CBS News 2020. America Decides. Let's bring in Anthony Salvanto at the Election Data Center and Major Garrett.
Actually, Nora, we're going to bring in Ed O'Keefe and Major Garrett. Ed O'Keefe is
oh shit!
Better-looking twin.
Fuck.
Sure.
Ed O'Keefe.
Well, first off, if you're still with us at home, thank you for doing that.
Exactly.
Especially for those of you in the East who are up late after normal business hours. Look, just heard from a Biden campaign official a little while ago who believes that Georgia is razor thin, potentially.
Hey, Dylan Stream, how's it going?
So, again, this is the map, 306 electoral votes for president.
How y'all doing?
2016.
Y'all feeling good? Y'all feeling bad?
With that. Yep. So, Ed, you wanted to put Georgia, let's just for the sake of argument, as a scenario, blue for Biden.
I have popcorn? Wow, I wish I had popcorn. Holy fuck, this game is loud.
Still is.
Oh, God.
And we have Arizona leaning.
Hypothetically leaning.
Well, let's put it in the Biden category and let's see what that does to the electoral.
Dread is setting in?
306
Yeah.
is now going to 264. Biden at 259.
Adventure 0-0
with
tier 1.
Yes,
they
minute
are.
ago, thanks.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
Yo, congrats on the sub.
But let's give Michigan the
I wasn't even
All right,
here.
see what happens there. That puts him over 275.
Yo, I just want to point it out.
Georgia
Ree is
so
like
important.
Johnning every
Let's
single
put
game in
North
Titanfall 2
Carolina
right
back
now because
still.
we keep
So
losing,
even if
and
the
it's really
president
funny.
hangs on North Carolina, but if Biden picks up
Sore
Georgia,
loser, hombre. Sore loser.
Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan. He's over.
We gotta
270.
stomp that game.
Wisconsin and Georgia.
Okay.
What happens?
Wisconsin, Biden.
Blue. Georgia. No, keep Michigan blue.
How will
Make
Biden
Georgia
scrape
red.
together 65 more votes?
Yep. No more L-Star. Pull out the car, baby.
Now, there
that
are
gun's
some, and I
fucking
heard from
sick.
viewers after our last
Or
segment about this.
be
They
crazy.
said, don't forget that Nebraska congressional.
Pop out
What's
the
Bernie
Kraber.
Sanders
Right.
Make a huge
Which is
chair.
currently trending
By
Biden,
God,
right
Jim.
about 30,000 votes, so I've heard, with about 70% of the vote counted.
So look what happens.
Let's just put Nebraska, that's what NE2 means. It's not from the periodical table of elements. That's Nebraska 2. Put that blue for
Michigan
Biden.
redeemed?
Do it again.
Do it one more time. There
Michigan
we go.
getting
Come on, boy.
redeemed?
Boom.
Wait,
Michigan
what?
lead at 268.
What's happening in
They've been holding
Michigan?
Nebraska,
The
second congressional district until well after
extremely
midnight,
large
or after
margin is
midnight, so
beginning
that's
to
why we're
narrow as
doing
more
that, okay? Because it's a real part of this scenario.
mail-in votes are
Or
beginning
could
to be counted.
Let's take it back to there.
Trump corrected his tweet law. It's no longer poll,
North
P-O-L-E-S.
Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, but losing Arizona, losing Wisconsin, losing
Texas
Michigan.
Trump. I don't know. Who's to say?
Yes, but that's not till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Okay, so hold back on that. So that's where we are, but we're not. We know for a fact, Ed, that Pennsylvania is not going to be decided tonight. So we put that in the toss-up category. But this is the way the map begins to develop. What it underscores is sort of where we've been since about 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern. Wisconsin, Michigan loomed so large for the former vice president because North Carolina, Georgia's still a toss-up, but Florida certainly didn't come through the way that they thought they might.
You know the Trump guys so well.
Yes.
They must be sitting there thinking, we told you so.
Yes.
Told you so.
And because they were bullish about Florida, Florida came through. They're bullish about North
2 tweets in
Carolina.
the
We'll
last
see
hour.
about that. I think Georgia is still something that both campaigns now say, wow, it's going to be very, very tight.
I look at
That
Trump
is
on Twitter. Here's
less
what I
bullish than
see.
the Trump campaign was.
Some or all the
24
content
hours.
shared in this tweet is disputed
Okay,
and might be
here,
misleading
we're gonna
about an
take a quick
election
break.
or
We'll
other
be right
civic
back with more election
processes.
This has been
coverage. You are
happening a lot
watching
lately.
CBS News
Few.
2020.
We are up big,
America
but they're trying to
decides.
steal the election. Capital P polls, but the right one. Some or all the content shared in this tweet is disputed and might be misleading about an election or other civic process.
The biggest names in politics.
Whoa, that's news. Do
You don't hear people ready to spike the football on the Republican side as I look at this tweet.
Did the CDC let the American people down? Tell me about the decision. When was it made? Who made it? What is the next area
You quote
that you are
retweets?
concerned
No,
about?
I'm
Oh,
not.
but
does
what
that
does he
mean
know?
for
He's
the
just
risk of
the
reinfection
leader of the
here in
Republican Party.
United States?
You bring up a very good point, Margo. It's a great question.
Face the Nation.
Thanks,
with Margo
Chuck.
Brennan on CBS.
Go to the ends of the earth.
Right now.
We got something crazy. And reach for the stars.
Here we are. Yes, it's my comeback.
Isn't this the woman that did the
There's more.
Trump town hall and was kind of fucking owning him?
Innovative and truly
You guys remember the town hall that Trump did instead of the debate?
I did not watch all of
Something
that.
new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
I had other shit to do that night. This gun sucks.
Welcome back to
Georgia.
CBS News election headquarters in Times Square. We have heard from Joe Biden, and we're expecting to hear from President Trump soon. We have a call.
How's Texas trucking? Leaning
CBS
Trump.
News.
Yeah, it's
Likely,
Texas.
President Trump
It is
has
Texas.
won
If you think about it, it is Texas.
and
If you think about Texas, then you have to think like one definitive statement about it.
notable 9 states
What I
that
would
we
say about
started
Texas is that it's
the
Texas.
evening with.
It do be
Fill in some of
Texas.
those
At the end of the
battleground
at the end of the
At the
day,
end of the
Texas
Texas.
do be Texas. At the end of the Texas,
You
it's
can see
Texas.
The ones that are still in white are the battleground states that are still toss-ups or still too close to call at this hour because not all of the vote has been counted.
That's right. Remnants from Chapter 1, Georgia and North Carolina, and then Chapter 2.
Yeah,
is
own
gonna
them,
be,
Rich Lowry.
gonna be a long one. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin.
How's our puzzle looking, John, that we started out
Look
with
at Dad.
at
How are you
7
feeling, bro?
o'clock?
Shot
Well,
show?
you know,
I'm feeling
yesterday,
pretty drunk.
You know,
How about
as
you?
said at the beginning, sometimes we're going to look at it. The picture's going to look this way, and then it's going to change.
Yeah.
And so we've had a lot of interesting
Ben
conversations
Sass,
about the way
projected
the country
winner, Nebraska
sorts
Senate.
these two different candidates, what their fears are, what their hopes are, and how they have totally different coalitions. Who have, you were saying earlier about COVID-19. You were saying that
Trump
should a
did
candidate
lose.
be penalized if they don't follow
Popular
the
vote,
rules?
no.
I think you can make a case that Donald Trump is benefiting from not following the rules because of the way in which that reasserts that kind of anti-political correctness that is so much a part of the.
What you
the
been
kind of
drinking?
cultural
I had a
connection
whole
he
Four
makes with
Loko.
His
Now I'm
voters. So
sipping
in
on
fact,
some
in his case, he would have been
White
the
Claw.
opposite of good politically. For
I'll
him.
say one loco,
He had
and now I'm drinking
sort of
water.
been Where his public health officials were.
Well, especially since he got COVID-19, and I think many people thought, well, maybe
He did
since
get
he's been through it, he'll
COVID-19. That was
understand,
crazy.
You know how serious it is.
I'm back.
He at least
Howdy.
we know it. He had breathing.
Did they give
he
us
was on
Arizona?
oxygen for at least 2 times that we know about. So people thought, well, maybe he'll
no.
have a different attitude when he came out. In fact, he came out and doubled
Cowards.
down. Really, ignoring
Arizona's
all of
only
the
11 though,
Well,
so that would put
remember that the
Biden up to
president had access
216.
healthcare that no other American
That is absolutely
has.
right.
He had the nation's top military doctors at Walter Reed caring for him. This is the greatest doctors in the world, the greatest facility in the world to treat the president of the United States.
Inhofe
and other
62.9,
United
Royals
States senators and military
32.7.
officials who get treated there.
Yeah, I
He
hate
was
to
also
see it.
given experimental
The
drug that
85-year-old
costs over
fucker did it.
$100,000 a year. The
God
Regeneron
damn it, dude.
monoclonal
What kind of loco?
antibodies,
Sour grape.
again,
It was
not
awful.
available
One of
to
the better
general
ones. It was
public.
awful.
So he was given what is the very best of America, as should the president of the United
Terrible,
States.
terrible
And so
drink.
his outcome was remarkably
Hit him
different,
out,
certainly than almost every other senior that is the age of 74 and.
He'll die. It's
slightly
okay. He
the
can't
president
run
of
for
the
another
United
term.
States is.
He
So
will
he
die
had a
before me.
different
This
outcome
is
because he had the best of
true.
American care.
Statistically,
Now, the question
absolutely.
remains about
I won't say
when
that I
he
guarantee it,
acted, and if you
because
look
I don't want to go
closely,
to
many
jail.
People say that when he returned to the White House, that event that we covered last, and he
Inhofe.
ripped that mask off, that
Your
was
state
a sign.
senator.
That was a sign to the very people that John is referring
Inhofe?
to, that believe that mask
Oklahoma
is a way
senator?
of infringing on my freedom.
85?
That I will be liberated from those
She's
that
not
ask me
used to that
behave
being
a
her
certain
state
way, that
major.
I am uniquely
I know.
American because I can do
But
whatever
you
I
know
want.
what?
Now that is antithetical.
You gotta
to
learn
people
today.
who believe
She's
that
in a
in
red
fact we're
state
all
now.
part of a social contract where we protect
You
one
best
another
start
with a
believing
mask.
in the
And that
Republican
really
Party.
is the clash of these two
You're in
values
one.
They
that
did.
come head to head tonight.
And you're exactly right. And that's sort of adjacent to, can you handle a pandemic that hits the country and kills over 230,000 Americans? I mean,
So are we,
that's
like,
the other
done
part of
counting?
this, which is the president good at doing his job? Which
I
is
don't know.
a distinct category from what Nora just talked about, which is that cultural debate that's around
The
how you
nightmare
behave in
scenario.
Just the fact now that masks are now a political hot potato and now become polarizing.
Ever played Destiny?
That-
Yeah,
that-
I played the
that
first
has
one
now
on
become an
Xbox.
issue. That, you know,
And a
I've
little
seen
bit of the
interviews
second.
with
I like a
women that say-
tiny little bit of second.
People in the crowd
It's
that
not
say,
really my
well,
bag.
you know, if he says we should wear a mask, I would wear
I
a
don't
mask.
like grinding for
The
levels.
president's words have great power. great power.
And Leslie Stahl asked him that during that 60 Minutes.
Destiny's not really a level grinder. It's more of a gear grind.
Same shit, in my opinion.
Well, that's MMOs.
But we come back time and again to
I'm not much of an MMO guy.
They can't just give it to you all at once, because then you'll stop playing.
What if they made the gameplay part really engaging?
Well, then it would just be a multiplayer game.
Yeah, they should make one of those. A massively multiplayer online game.
Destiny has that.
Yeah, but it's really slow.
And that's why I think it's important to remind people that it's not just about the death count.
Wow,
which is
Chuck,
staggering.
that's
It's about
funny.
Getting ill in the first place, right? It's about how it has really brought a halt to the economy in large parts. It is about the cost that gets associated with it. And you're talking about a decade of economic progress for women that was just wiped out in a matter of a few months. And that's why that question of, is it the economy or the coronavirus?
I mean, we're going to do it.
It almost doesn't get at what you're talking about, that it's just the same sort of disruptor approach from 2016 all over again.
Yet there have been shifts in the electorate. And even though this is a very close race tonight, so have most of
Sweet
the
Pea,
other recent
Tier 1.
presidential
Yeehaw, it's,
elections.
quote, drinking wine out the bottle, end quote, kind of night.
Hey, Sweet Pea, wish over there.
In the 21st century.
I hope it's at least refrigerated.
Hope you're having a normal one.
That was considered a blowout.
I don't think it's a normal one.
Did that wide of a margin.
This is definitely not a normal one.
I feel like if you're having a normal one tonight, you're probably not like a friend of mine.
We have a deeply divided country. It existed.
You're probably very comfortable and have been for the last 16
And
years.
yet that's why I think
How are we on the dread front right now? Extreme
Not a
dread.
definitive answer.
High
but
dread.
we have seen some shifts.
The dread is
We've
running
seen some
high.
shifts among independents.
You ain't never seen a guy with
Back
dreads
towards
like
the
me.
Democratic side. We've seen college-educated women shift. We've also seen Latinos in Florida shift towards President Trump in Miami-Dade County. So those are all part of this puzzle piece that we're putting together, just what our country believes, what our country wants. All of that incredibly important, what we're sifting through tonight.
And Nora, what I want to know is, who are we as a country? And some of the answers that I hear.
I hope this fucking woman says we're better than Donald Trump tonight, because we're not. I love hearing that. We're better than this. No, we're not. We voted for it. We love this.
You know, that's the
we are a
uncomfortable part of
bloodthirsty
democracy.
country.
It really is the uncomfortable part of democracy. That there may be people that you so strongly disagree with and think are completely, totally wrong, but everybody gets a
Will we
vote.
know the results of the election tonight?
No.
Which is 100% true in the campaign.
Pennsylvania has already stopped
where, of
counting.
course, and you already
Atlanta
talked about this,
pollster,
the part where it gets tricky,
Atlanta
of course,
vote
is,
counters have
the
gone
public
home,
health
or not
issue
Atlanta,
where your
Georgia.
own individual liberty is not the whole part of the equation, because how you behave affects how other people behave. And we've seen where there have been super spreader events from people who are making an individual liberty choice. But
An
they are not the
individual
only ones
liberty
who
choice
feel
to
the
go make a
repercussions.
super spreader
Because they
event.
go to events at the
I
White
love
House.
America.
You know? Yeah.
Or at
And
least
that
I know I'm
for,
free.
For somebody exercising their
Pennsylvania do kind of have a
individual
thick
liberty,
Trump
you're also
lead,
getting
though.
into a don't tread on me. You're
57 to
treading on
42 as it
somebody else's liberty, and that's,
stands.
of course, another way in which this cuts across.
We can't emphasize
In
enough
Atlanta?
at this hour if people are waiting for
Pennsylvania.
different results from
Oh.
the states. We are likely not going to have a projection tonight about who will be the next president of the United States. They have already paused some of the voting in Georgia, a key state there where President Trump currently, according to the current vote count, holds a lead, but there's still a large number of votes that are outstanding.
All my
in
friends
key
have their
Democratic
collective b-holes
counties there.
clinched. Yeah,
Pennsylvania
Yoda, me
has already
too.
said they're not going to be able to count
Got a
much
very-
of the vote there. They'll start again
Well, my
tomorrow
friends have
morning,
some pretty
and
tight
we're still waiting
buttholes.
for more information out of
I'm feeling nice and loose.
Wisconsin and Michigan.
Georgia, where they
yes,
had the broken pipe.
mentioned that. Let's bring in Major Garrett, who has some more information on this, Major.
Exit poll
The
data.
Times
As
have
we've
given
discussed
Minnesota
all
to
night,
Biden.
Vote tabulation tells you who won and lost. Exit polls answer the question why. So let's talk
Makes
about the states we've
sense.
just most recently called. Florida and Iowa. I'm going to walk you through a lot of data, so bear with me. It's an interesting story. Let's
You
go
know,
to Florida first
269
to
is
break
looking
down
very
why it
real.
was that President Trump won.
Like, I think
We have
this
to
is-
acknowledge
this
won
could
somewhat
happen.
comfortably Based on the historical way that
A
Florida
cool
typically has
271,
razor-thin
269
margins. It wasn't
precision.
that razor thin. Look at the, look
No,
at the
it's gonna be
Trump
two. I think it's gonna be
coalition.
269, 269.
61-38.
Oh, right.
53-44. Seniors 52-47.
It may come down to
Those who
Alaska.
thought the economy was most important in Florida broke 84-15 for the president. I also want to tell you about Latino voters in Florida. Joe Biden carried Latino voters 52 to 47. Hillary Clinton carried Latino voters in Florida in 2016 by 27 percentage points. So there was an enormous shift there. I want to take you to Iowa. Not so much about who, but some areas within Iowa. Urban voters in Iowa. Biden carries them 61-37. Suburban voters in Iowa. Biden carries them 51-47. The rural vote in Iowa. This is the tale of the tape. Donald Trump wins 60-38, and of those 3 regions in Iowa, the rural vote was slightly larger in percentage than the urban vote or the suburban vote. Donald Trump did not win Iowa by as much as he won in 2016. He won it by 9.5 points then. But guess what? He still won it.
He still won it. Yes.
Win is a win.
I think that Latino vote
Shout
is
out to poll
incredibly
workers.
interesting
Shout out to
in
poll
Miami-Dade.
workers. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna head out for the night.
Latino
I'm like
population there is different in Miami-Dade than
Nice.
perhaps in Texas
I'm gonna go eat,
or in Arizona, what you may
and
traditionally
do some
know.
other
But
stuff.
This is having a
I might
huge
pop
impact on other
I
races
might
in that
pop
state,
back
right,
in the
Ed?
chat.
It is, in
I
fact,
might pop back in the voice chat.
I don't know that
I'm
we've
gonna-
called it, but there were.
I'm probably gonna
Joe
bounce as
Biden
well because it
essentially
looks
took-
like things are slowing
dragged
down.
two
I'll
Democratic
probably end up playing Final
members
Fantasy
of Congress,
13 at
two
some
women,
point
two
tonight.
freshmen
Hell
tonight,
yeah, brother.
In the Miami area.
All right, goodbye, chat.
Goodbye,
Dylan's
Health and
chat.
Human Services Secretary, and Debbie Merkersell Powell losing to the city's former Republican.
Hoop, shoop, de doop. Before all of you leave, thanks for hanging out on Hell Night. I hope Joe Biden wins, but I'm not really confident. Hang out. I'll be doing more Spelunky soon. I'm gonna beat fucking Cosmic Ocean, otherwise, or it's gonna kill me. Either or, I don't know. Whichever one comes first. Okay, let's fuck it. I don't even want to do the end of the stream shit we usually do. Is anybody? Can I rate anybody that's not Dylan? Is anybody doing something that's not this? Let's see. Y'all want to watch some? We're gonna rate All Tribe. Shouts out to Among Us. We love Among Us. /raid. Love this guy. Leave squad. Sorry, Dylan. Dude. Go tell him whatever the fuck you want. I don't know. Not Cade? I mean, I raid Cade sometimes. Don't tell me what to do with my life. I saw what I saw. Goodbye. Bitch.